What is up, everybody? Welcome to How We Roll. It is Thursday, which means another trip into the old world of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. I'm your Game Master Gorbat. Joining us not tonight is Nick Nat, who normally plays Kazkaya, the Dwarven Troll Slayer. She is having computer issues, so she won't be with us tonight, but hopefully that'll be rectified before next week. But I tell you who is here, Shagit.
Hey guys, Shaggy here. I played Delvic Rattlebone, the Halfling Hunter Extraordinaire, Slingshot Master.
And also joining us is the Dragon Spooker.
Can't remember where her mute button is. Hey guys. Oh, I don't have us muted. Hold on. I have an echo.
Echo.
I am the Dragon Spooker, and I play an initiate of Verna named Lena. She's human.
There we go. And last but not least, we have our very own Satchmo.
I'm the very own Satchmo. I'm playing Khazadrin. He's a dwarf. He's a shield breaker. He likes Grimnir a lot. But it's his sister who's...
And he breaks shields.
Trying to die. Yeah, I break shields. I break shields. I wear a helmet, too.
Right, there you go. Which is important. So, oh, and I just noticed that the maps are already open. That's okay. That's fine. Let's just be ahead of the game, shall we? So, where are we at tonight? Let me go ahead and clear the current chat log. There we go. So, where are we at tonight? Well, our heroes, as part of Lena's initiation Hell Week, they started out kind of doing some things in the slums of the huge city of Nuln, but because they were so effective, the local priestess in the temple that they've been working for said, "Hey, I've got a special job for you." And long story short of it, there's a foppish son of a very rich noble who's gone into business using largely his daddy's money, and he is building a mill down the river. Unfortunately, things are taking forever to get done, and Daddy kind of went to the Temple of Verna, which is kind of, they're all about justice and investigating crimes and stuff, and said, "Look, do me a favor, here's a whoppy great donation. Could you just maybe have someone go check and make sure my son's doing stuff, but don't let him know that we're checking up on him?" So our heroes have been sent to do that. They've gone down there under the guise of laborers. And, they've visited this fellow, and Rutger Ruta is his name. He has a female business partner, and a dwarvish foreman by the name of Fulgrim Nallinson. And bottom line is a bunch of workers that are called Strigani. Now, Strigani are close to kind of what Vistani are in the D&D land of Barovia, and they're kind of like that Romany kind of dark-skinned, mysterious kind of group of people. But they are very suspicious, very rooted in tradition. So the first job he has asked our heroes to do, he said, we're clearing out all these trees to make room, but there's this big rock that is in the way, and my Strigani workers refuse to do something about it. They refuse to move it. So take care of that for me, will you? Well, our heroes have ventured in to find the big rock, and it is some strange monolithic plinth with weird carvings in it in a stone circle. So clearly nothing at all out of the ordinary. And that's kind of where we join them today, is as they try to figure out what to do with it, because the general gist is they've got to get rid of it. They've got to move it. They've got to get it out of here. So yeah, that's kind of where we're joining our heroes. So with that being said, okay, heroes. what do you want to do with the big, ominous rock in the woods? And while you're looking at the big, ominous rock, I'm going to go ahead and alter some of the noise that you're going to hear.
Ah, big ominous rock.
Okay.
Everything in my being says we should not touch this rock. I guess we're gonna go look at it, yeah?
Yeah. Get closer.
Okay. Collectively, our party will decide how and what Cascaya does. Fortunately, she has done a pretty good job of stereotypically deciding the sort of things that she would or wouldn't do, so she shouldn't be too difficult to make decisions on her behalf.
I mean, she stays quiet, she stays to herself, she drinks a lot, and she wants to kill things.
And then anytime there's a fight, she
just
leaps in, regardless of how injured or whatever she is. She's just front line. Because Troll Slayers are looking to die. They're trying to find but it is a meaningful death. It needs to be a meaningful death, not just a... I mean, anyone can kill themselves, but...
Yeah, but see, I firmly believe that if she dies in service to me, that is a meaningful death.
There you go.
Okay,
Spook. It will mean something to you, at least, right?
Virna will be very proud, and I'm sure as a dwarf she cares greatly about what my god thinks.
Gotta love it. Okay. Yeah, so you gather around the huge, ominous rock. As I said, there is a collection of stones based all around it, but they look to be nothing much more than just a pile of regular rocks that have been put in place to build up a small wall, no more than probably about a foot high, around the rock itself. The huge, big stone pillar, it's about, probably stands about 15 feet tall, is probably about a foot thick, and as I said, has strange, ominous carvings, much of which have been weather-worn over a long period of time, and moss and other fauna has kind of clung to the rock over this time as well, and kind of like masked some of the features. All in all, this is not the sort of rock that can easily be picked up and moved by sheer will alone. It's going to take some ingenuity.
Do we recognize any of the markings on it?
Good question. Does anybody have any particular skill that they feel might be applicable for that?
You would think I would, but I don't think I do. I just have knowledge history.
You could certainly make a history roll to see if there's anything historic of historic significance.
I have the Secret Signs Ranger skill, although this doesn't look like a ranger thing.
Okay.
But
so your target number's 38. You got a 40, so not quite.
My dice didn't roll. What did I do?
It's the start of it. It's the start of. Well, it doesn't. It's because they're turned off. But that's fine because we usually have them turned off for Warhammer anyway because the macros roll a million dice.
That's true. It's probably because I used the macro, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't roll your new fancy super dice.
Yeah, I was like, what did I do wrong?
I wonder if I can get those to roll just for chat to see them. Let me have a quick look.
So maybe the ones I picked out will actually...
Of course, it won't land on the map, therefore chat won't see it. Let's see.
Those numbers are a little bit more readable than the ones I have.
Oh yeah, I've got them turned off, so they're not going to show up. I've got to add it. Let's see. Oh, well, you can see it there, over here. There.
It's kind of neat that it rolled over to the panel, then.
Yeah, it's rolled into my dice pane. But there are some new cool dice with a new add-on that we have. But unfortunately, normal D20 dice confine themselves to the map area. These roll across the desktop like a desktop. So there you go. Let me turn those back off because they just confuse things. Okay, so
Yeah, the best I got is I can tell whether or not it's dwarven, or using my mining skill, I can probably tell you what kind of rock it is.
Oh man, I got a 40.
Yeah,
I
you
was
rolled a
almost
40 out of it.
there.
You needed a 38. That's why I was asked if you wanted to. It's a new day, so you all have your fortune points back for anybody that wants to
Chat, do you think
re-roll
I
them.
should re-roll it? I think I might need to re-roll. We really need to know what this rock is.
I
What did I
believe in
do
you,
with
Spook.
my? What did I do
Use
with
the
my
power
paddle?
of belief.
That's right. It's like I'm drunk trying to navigate this browser. Okay. Come on.
Oh,
Even worse.
Okay, well, that's a thing.
Yeah, and the only other one I have is Empire, so. Background. Where was that?
So yeah, Lena, you're just not really sure. Any of you, I mean, if you want to figure out if it is in any way dwarvish, you can certainly roll. And if you want to figure out if it is any way some kind of secret ranger symbols, you could do that as well.
Do it, guys. Do it. Even if it's to be
here's
like,
me
nope.
checking to see if it's dwarfish.
Damn it.
Nope.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm re-rolling. We need a victory, even
somebody
if
roll
Gore
for-
says nothing. Yeah. Come on. Fortune. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
Well,
Do
you
we have
certainly
access to roll
cannot
for-
recognize it as any form of rangerish secret landmark or sign.
I would be asking Kaya at this point. You haven't seen anything like it.
Yeah, make a roll for Kaya. Do you guys have access to her sheet?
We
No.
do not.
Eh.
Then
Or
let
at
us
least I don't.
fix that for tonight. Cast
I'm not gonna
Kaya.
get to see Kaya's stats.
Edit.
Yeah, Prepper, it was a long shot on my end, but yeah, you never know. You know?
There you go. All players can have access.
It's like Orcish or
Done.
something, and it says, "Do not move this rock."
Do not read this note.
I trained in consuming alcohol. Makes sense. Makes sense.
What a thing to be trained in.
Should have.
Trade Smith. She has a trade Smith, and
So Smith is not going to be applicable because you're not trying to forge it.
common knowledge dwarf. That's
And she can make a dice roll with that if the same way that
Satch do the honors.
The dwarf craft one?
yeah,
Or common knowledge
common
dwarf?
knowledge dwarvish, just to see if it's a thing that she recognizes as.
Oh.
No. Okay, so none of you are any the wiser as to what any of these strange markings may or may not be.
Damn,
just gonna-
we are
I'm
dark
useless.
mode.
I'm gonna look around and be like, what do we do, guys?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. And it's out here in the woods. They said they haven't seen anybody else, right? Like they haven't seen any natives or whatever.
Yeah, they said that they have not seen anything unpleasant roaming around in this area.
I mean, it's abandoned. Why can't we just get them to move it?
Well, therein lies the problem. The Strigani refused to move it. That was the reason that he's
That's
asked
right.
you to move it. They are like, nope, we're not touching that thing. We're suspicious of it. We don't trust it. We are not going anywhere near it.
Maybe we should ask them why.
I'm imagining it's because it's a big spooky rock in the middle of a field.
But remember, everyone's been having bad dreams, like us, right? So
You think a rock's doing that?
magic rock, chaos rock.
Chaos rock.
Okay, I'm gonna lean over and touch it.
Oh,
Okay.
lordy.
Touch it.
Yep, you can lean far enough in to lay hands on it. I mean, it is very, very cold, much like a large, big rock would be. But nothing strange. It doesn't feel any more different than you'd expect a large lump of rock to feel when you touched it.
I'm gonna look at no, I can't say. I proclaim this is not a magic rock.
I'm gonna look doubtfully at everybody, and then circle around, I guess, to see if nature is repulsed by it in any way? Because you said there's moss on it and it's grass, obviously.
Yep. The moss is growing right on it. And the grass around it is certainly not diminished or anything unpleasant.
And inside the circle, same thing? Like the whatever grass is below.
Yeah, the little bit of grass that's kind of between the circle and the main rock itself. It's not all like dead or anything unpleasant.
We don't feel creeped out around this rock.
Other than the fact that it is a big rock, and there's carvings on it, and there's a group of people that are like, nope, not going near it. That's about, I mean, it's not making you specifically feel any kind of way, no.
It's just a rock. They're suspicious people. It's fine. Virna would give me some sort of notion if this rock wasn't meant to be moved or if we should avoid it in any way. And I'm not feeling anything. So I trust her.
Maybe we should check with the town nearby and see if this has any kind of historical significance. I'd hate to break someone's heirloom. Would hate to have a grudge against me, you know?
The town was only a couple of miles south of here. I mean, a good brisk walk along the riverbank, there and back, you could be back by lunchtime.
I mean, that's a pretty good idea. The only other thing I would suggest or think to do is maybe disrupt the circle surrounding it, you know, of these littler rocks. Break it, see what happens, but...
So you just want to nudge it a little instead of just going ahead and ripping the Band-Aid off.
Well, I mean, no, Lena,
Let's agitate it some first.
Lena, I do agree with you. It's just, this is obviously has a purpose to it, and if a whole group of people are afraid to even go near it, and looking around, it looks like this is a pretty peaceful area.
Right, but they can't
probably why we're having that problem back at the camp, you know?
I mean, they can't give us a good enough reason as to why they feel creeped out around this rock. It was probably just the decoration.
I think that's good enough reason if it's a big creepy rock, yeah.
Yeah. It has markings on it. Markings.
Well, I mean, they say it's creepy. I think it just feels like a
and
rock.
Put a bunch of rocks around it to keep it from moving any.
It could be a decoration. It could be a marker for something.
It feels like
a
a
ritual
ritual
for
thing.
A rock not to be moved. We should probably check with anyone who might know.
You're all so suspicious and superstitious, and I understand. You don't trust in Virna the way that I do. If it makes you feel better, we'll go ask.
Did Lena, was Lena one of the ones who had the dream? Or was she the one that was up?
Lena had the dream.
You had the dream too, okay.
Everybody had a dream, yeah.
No, but except for Kazkaya, right? Because she was up.
Yeah, she was awake.
Kazkaya was awake.
Kazkaya was not asleep, so she didn't have a dream.
Lena, again, I do agree with you. At the same time, we all had the same kind of dream at the same time.
Well, that was just a coincidence. We were all really stressed.
When's the last time you had the same exact dream?
We all witnessed
it was not a good dream.
A woman die, and we wrecked. We were tired. You know, we were really
I had
exhausted.
that one in first person, I think.
Right, Prepper? Clearly a ranger sign. A treat stash hidden beneath the rocks, yeah.
Besides,
I'm gonna go get answers.
Yeah, I'm with the dwarf. He's a rock expert. I agree with him. I'm gonna turn and scurry after Kazkaya.
Okay.
It's a waste of time.
Kazkaya mentioned something about getting a beer.
Yeah, there's bound to be a tavern at this village. So is that the game plan? You guys want to wander along the riverbank and?
Sure.
Yeah, back to the town and.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sigh and just.
Are you gonna go? I mean, you know where the river is. You can hear it from here, and you know where the mill is. Are you going back to the mill to tell them that that's what you're going to do, or do you want to just kind of discreetly scuttle off and take care of that and come back?
This is part of our rock method. They didn't ask us how long it would take. No. They just said, go deal with the rock.
Yeah, they didn't tell you how to deal with it. Okay. All right. Yeah, so not a problem. You stroll along the riverbank. It's quite a pleasant stroll, actually. Nice, clean water, and birds chirping. Nice weather. And as I said, it's only a couple of miles, so it doesn't take you too long. And you arrive at Mattersheim, which is a small agricultural fishing settlement. I'm not even going to go as far as to call it a village. Mattersheim, population 37.
Ooh.
Crowded.
It operates a 5-man local militia, which is all made up of basically the 5 able-bodied men that live in the village. This village, pretty much, when you get there, there are fields. There is some nice irrigation set up from the river. But other than that, you can see that they have nets out. They have trot lines out. Bottom line is, fishing and agriculture is all they do and all they know, and this teeny tiny population of 37 is little more than about a dozen small shacks and buildings.
As we approach, I'm just going to say, all right, so in places like this, they usually don't have established buildings or whatever for particular purposes, so you just got to find the oldest person here. But they're the elder person will know the most history, if they're not, lost in the head. So we just go to the militiamen and say, who's the oldest person in town? And that's not town, but you know. And,
okay.
And ask.
All right. They will tell you that the oldest able-bodied and faculty-complete individual in the town is actually an old lady. Her name is Giselda Van Dyke.
Oh, good. Our track record with old ladies is.
Giselda Van Dyke. I love it.
Yep, Giselda Van Dyke. And they quite easily point to, you basically see there is a wooden bench that is near the river, no more than about 4 feet away from the bank. And sitting there, knitting away with a huge, big kind of shawl that's laying, she's on the right-hand side of the bench, and she's knitting away, and the shawl is kind of laying on the left-hand side of the bench, and as she's kind of doing it, she's shuffling and moving it along. But she's sitting there and minding her own business, just knitting away like a crazy person.
All right. I'm gonna kind of nudge Lena.
I don't know how to knit, can you tell?
Pardon?
Well, you're the most personable of us all.
I feel like I'd go up and scare her, and
That's Sky I certainly would.
Frankly, the smell would
Are we just asking her about the rock?
mostly.
Okay, I guess I'll greet her. Greetings, Elder.
She looks up. Clearly, she has sensible hearing. She says, "Oh, hello there, my dear. What can I do for you on this beautiful day?"
We are assisting construction. Is it north? It's north, isn't it?
Yes.
Up to the north. Clearing out some trees and everything to build a mill. And we've encountered a strange-looking rock. Do you know of anything about maybe any people that had been around, or other structures that may have been long since eroded or dismantled?
I know of this rock of which you speak. It has been there since I was a young girl. Do not know what it is, why it is there, but it has been there in the forest for a very, very long time. I'm sure it has some kind of historical significance, but what that would be, I am afraid I do not know.
Have there ever been any odd happenings or anything strange that happened to anyone that maybe went around the rock, or?
Not that I can recall directly, no.
I'm gonna turn back to the group. It's just a rock. A very old
It's her
rock.
about the dreams, but like in a way that humans like.
There wouldn't happen to be. I don't know, maybe you heard of people having strange dreams after being near the rock, or
No, not that I recall.
turn back to the group.
Ma'am,
Yes?
I'm gonna peek my head up from behind everybody.
You're a little fellow, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're
Sorry,
one of the
sorry,
moot folk.
correct. Yes.
I always enjoy you people. You're always so jovial and happy.
Oh yeah, I'm the happiest of the bunch here. I'm gonna look at this guy.
He says, oh, let me see. Here, I've got in my pocket
You're
somewhere.
gonna get little booties.
Oh, let's see here. Would you like a piece of candy? Here you are.
I'm an adult, but sure. I'm gonna swaddle up
says-
little boy.
I'm sure you are an adult, but everybody likes candy.
I mean, absolutely. Thank you. I love sweets. You know, they're the best.
They're
Take the
a bit
candy.
hard. I can't chew them like I used to. I have to suck on them, you see.
There's nothing wrong with suckling on some candy. So you said it was there since you were a little girl. Do you remember a time when it wasn't there?
Well,
Or was it always when you were like a little girl it was there?
as I said, I have memories of it since I was a small child. I don't know how far back I really remember, but I don't recall a time when it wasn't there.
And
Didn't
do you
just spring up overnight, if that's what you mean.
Oh, I know. Of course. I mean, that would make no sense. It's big and heavy looking. Is there any town records that you guys have that might go
no.
further back in time?
Everybody here, it's all about memory. Stories around the fire, passing down tales. But
Any
no particular tales I recall about the rock. No.
anyone in town known storyteller who might have a lot of these stories?
Well, you get anybody drunk these days, they'll tell all kinds of tales. Some true, some not so true. Some exaggerated, and some absolute Scheiße.
Scheiße.
I mean, we've all heard the tales of, there's a strange, horrible creature that lives in the water. But I've never seen any strange, horrible creatures. Every time something unfortunate happens
please
on the
stay
river,
away
they all
from the
blame the
water.
creature.
Right. Well, no one in town will be upset if we get rid of the rock to the north, right? I mean,
I certainly don't care, but I'm not going to say nobody. And maybe some people that rather like the rock, who knows?
Anyone in this town frequent north just on their own personal journeys, like
I mean,
out for strolls and stuff?
sometimes the young folk will wander up the river. Maybe they go there, I don't know. I'm too old and my bones are too wretched for me to travel any further than the riverbank anymore, I'm afraid.
Well,
It is
okay.
some things that I do not have the strength to do anymore.
Well, I do appreciate you answering our questions. Has there been anything strange happening in the past couple of weeks?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, there's been a lot more people coming and going of late than there used to be, but I'm sure that is to do with the construction of the mills that you talk about.
Yeah, we're here because the people at the mill have had quite a bit of misfortune and
I'm sorry to hear
worrying
that.
dreams. So we're investigating to try to find the source of it.
Well, you
reason.
see, we all know the source of bad dreams.
Huh?
Yes, your mother never told you how to avoid bad dreams.
What do you have to do?
Mustn't eat cheese before you go to bed.
You don't
Okay.
sleep.
No cheese. That's
No,
good.
no dairy right before bedtime brings on the nightmares.
That's good. That's good advice. Okay. Thank you again. I'm gonna give like this ridiculous little half bow, and then
Okay.
pop the hard candy in my mouth and just start suckling it to show that I'm not, that I'm with it. I'm
You're
gonna
with
walk
it?
back to
You're
I'm with
with
it.
it. I'm with
I'm gonna walk back to everybody and be like,
I'm down with what you kids do these days. You and your newfangled hard candies.
See? A rock. Just a rock.
so you just want to have Kaskaya here destroy it?
I mean, that's what we were sent up here to do, right?
I mean, if that's one way to blunt an axe,
We were sent up here to
to try to chop
check
a
up and
15-foot by 1 foot thick massive rock.
I mean, technically, we were sent up here just to check on him and
Oh.
keep him in
That's
That's
check.
his
Or
camera's gone
He
funky.
usually comes back by now, but it
Yeah.
seems to be having issues. There we go.
Have to kick it.
so I mean, we were
There you
only
go.
sent up here to monitor and not really finish the construction for him. But I'm sure that it wouldn't. That if we can, nudge it along a little bit.
I mean, it is heavy. How would we do that?
That's what
Two
dwarves.
strong dwarves. And not to mention, maybe they would help us move it if we're the ones that break it down. Or there's probably equipment we can use.
I mean,
That's it, Trin?
I'm just gonna hold up my hammer and be like,
A little bit of
Let's go
dwarven
dismantle
elbow
a cursed
grease.
rock.
Let's do this then. I'm gonna give a little half shrug because I'm out of ideas.
Okay.
does anybody have climbing gear? We can use the pitons to like create a line fracture to snap the rock like a twig and
You could certainly do something like that if you had some climbing picks.
We have something like that at the mill, yeah.
big enough nails would do it, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they have the gear for us to use to dismantle the rock. They just didn't want to do it themselves.
Sure. Let's do whatever needs to be done.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
so
Mama
what
didn't
do
raise
you
no
want to
bitch.
do? So yeah, you get back to the huge rock. Surprisingly enough, it's still there.
I was hoping it would be gone when we got back.
I'm going to notch a little pebble, a little sling, and shoot it to see it clink. But I want to hear it clink.
The rock, yeah, it goes, pting, ricochets off and disappears into the trees and the undergrowth.
I look around to see if I start seeing hallucinations or anything.
Masterful gambit, sir.
No, everything seems to still be fine.
Nothing, tra-la-la.
I'm gonna look at Lena and be like, I guess it's just a rock.
You know what? I wish one of us had said that to begin with before we
I
saw what we're
know,
talking
but
about.
no one did, so we
It's
walked.
best to
a couple
make sure
miles.
the
It is but an
chaos
hour's
demons don't
jaunt.
come out of it, you know?
Hey, I got candy out of this gambit, all right? So
So, okay,
I
so
think
what
that-
is
Yes,
your
the trip
game
wasn't a
plan
total
for
loss.
the removal of the rock?
I'm going to defer to the dwarves.
nope, same.
Hazardrin's making a little project out of it. Gonna need some spikes to drive into it to basically create a fracture line to kind of snap off part by part.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we need to go back to the...
Is movable.
Yeah, I mean, they have plenty of basically wood nails. They're not really the same as climbing spikes, though. Probably not going to be particularly useful to try to hammer them into solid stone.
I was thinking like a railroad peg, dang.
Yeah, they don't really have
Is
anything.
there like a forge or something? Not forge, but like more heavy equipment.
Well,
for
let's
metal
go
works?
there first of all.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can go back there and...
And
Because
Guys,
Kaya does have
tell
a
us what we
smithing
need.
trade, right?
yep, Kazkai is a smith.
I have mining.
As Kaya
so.
Smith.
I mean, this is
does
probably
nothing.
closer, to be honest, mining, this is far closer to Kazadrin's expertise than Kazkaya's.
Cool.
Oh, heck
I mean,
yeah.
Kazkaya would be all about turning it into horseshoes.
right.
Horseshoe would work though. Like if we just sharpen down the ends of the horseshoe. Could use it like a staple bracket.
Right. Yeah, when you get back there, I mean, they're all over here working on this northernmost section of the lumberyard. The dwarven foreman is here with his axe and stuff like that. I mean, clearly he's in charge of this construction, so...
Check with him and see what he's got.
Okay. He looks up at you and says, "So is that bloody rock gone then?"
But not quite. I'm just gonna have to dismantle it a little bit before we can move it. It's a bit big.
Aye. I reckon it's about 15, I don't know, 15 or 20 foot tall. Probably weighs a good ton or more.
The way I'm looking at it, there's probably 2 ways we can move it. The one being break it down, take piece by piece, which I'm thinking we'd need some spikes for to drive little fractures in. And
Well, we've got wood nails and wood chucks, which we use to just keep all of the logs in place so they don't slip and roll, but none of those would be of any use to you.
which got me thinking my other end. We got these big chunks of wood here, and I'm going to point at this log. Like we might be able to make a lever.
We've got rope, and we've got pulleys.
Might be able to pull it down that way and just knock it on its ass, drag it over some
I
logs.
mean,
and
feel
roll it
free
away.
to lay hands on any materials that you see lying around if you want, like, as I said, good sturdy rope. We got plenty of that, and several fine pulleys that you might be able to use somehow.
It's going to take some rigging up, but I think we can do it.
Right, all you need is the right leverage.
Aye.
Surprising what a
Yeah.
dwarf can do under the right leverage.
We've got 2 of those, so shouldn't be too much longer. I'm gonna go back over here. Right, ain't got anything to break the rock, so we're just gonna have to move it whole.
But it's big.
Yep.
And
We're
then
gonna have to work some magic on it. So we need some really long pieces of sturdy wood that we can maybe roll up onto it and then pull from the top to knock the whole thing down. And then once we get it down, we'd want some logs under it to roll it on.
Well, you've got
Get it
short
over its foot.
logs. You've got long logs.
Medium-sized logs.
I mean, logs are plenty. And, I mean, even the largest of the logs, if, you know, a dwarf at each end and a halfling in the middle.
And a human supervisor.
And again, it's, yeah, right. And again, it's not that far into the woods, so...
I imagine to pull it down, you're going to need rope or
Rope, yep. And
Pulleys?
maybe some pulleys that we can hook it up between and maybe use a
Okay.
tree for an anchor point.
I'm gonna run to the foreman to get the rope and the pulleys, put it in my pack.
Okay.
I'll carry all that shit. You know,
Yeah. Big old
Me and
coil
this guy
of
will
rope over
take
your
a
shoulder.
big
and
ass log.
Big old
just
heavy
wrap it
metal
around me.
pulleys. Yeah.
I'll have like a shit ton of ropes, kind of like teetering side to side as I walk. Yeah.
All right, so once you're back at the monstrous rock, how you want to pull it down? Or dislodge it,
Again.
or smash it, or...
Row of logs like this behind it. And
Okay.
then big ass log like this.
I imagine I will climb the rock to wrap the rope around the top
yeah,
part.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you wrap
get
rope
that
around the
out.
top part. Yeah, there's a climb skill for that. And scaling... For you, scaling up a smooth 15-foot rock is not an easy thing to do by any normal
Yeah.
means. So,
Scale shield surface.
yeah, give me a scale shear surface roll.
Oh, this is gonna be wonderful.
This is not your forte, but you never know.
Nope.
Oh,
I was pretty close though.
I mean, periodically you find a little bit of purchase, like putting your foot in where some of the markings are, the carvings. But with
Sure.
the moss and everything, it's just a little too slick for you to scramble up there unaided.
Help?
okay. We're gonna probably go back to the camp and get some
Wait a minute.
nails.
I'm
You're gonna
I'm
build a
ladder.
scaffold, aren't you?
before Kazadrin makes that suggestion, I'm just gonna look at Kazkai and be like, "Can you throw me up there?"
Oh,
I mean,
hunt the
yeah,
halfling.
um,
don't see why not.
They could
I
probably
mean, you said
throw
it's
you
50 foot tall.
They could probably throw you some of the way.
Yeah. So I was thinking, we also have a lot of rope.
You do.
Probably enough rope to create little ties around the log where you'd be able to grab on and pull your stuff up.
You
Oh,
could,
well,
yeah,
that
if
too.
you want. So make
Make like a ladder on it.
How did you do in gym class? Were you able to climb the knotted rope, Nelwick? At little halfling gym class.
I'm sorry, there was no such thing as halfling gym class. We eat and smoke and drink, and that's it. We're halflings. We
We
don't
didn't
go
have
to
that kind of
gym.
gym class.
We're also so we're gonna have to tie it around the bottom and the top, right?
Sure.
And then we're going to need a pulley attached to the top of the log.
I mean, if we do a log this way, right,
Right.
up
Yeah.
the surface, that would be an easier thing to scale, I imagine, right? To get
Yeah.
to straddle the log and scooch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then
If you're going to
putting the
use
rope
that,
along
I'll
it.
let you make another climb roll, but this would make it easy, so it'd be plus 20, which still isn't easy for you.
So with the 20 attached to it. All
Yeah.
right. Well. No.
Okay.
No.
So seeing this not work,
Yeah, he's
I'm
like
thinking,
as
I'm
he
struggling.
tries to boot scoot up, he slides back down each time just as much. It's getting
so we
nowhere.
got. I'm gonna diagram it really quick. We got a rock standing in a circle of rocks, right? Like that, something
Uh-huh.
like that.
Yep.
So if we take our big ass log before running it up, right, and we attach a pulley on one end, and then basically scooch it up to the rock like this, right? Damn, that's a really bad line, but yeah. And then tie it at the bottom around the base of the rock,
Uh-huh.
like some of the way up, so that it's connected there, and then pull that taut. We can guide it with a rope around this pulley, right? Attaching one end to a tree, and this one, and then you'd have another pulley, but to maximize your leverage. But then you can just pull it, right? So then the leverage would take it this way.
So like wrap it like
Because this would
tie the
become the
rope,
fulcrum up here.
the rope that's at the top here, run it around the base of this tree and pull it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Basically?
Yeah, base of tree up to pulley, and then comes back down, and we can tug on the one side, having the doubling our.
And then the
torque
idea is it lands
rock.
on these logs, which gives you the ability to roll it.
Yes.
Okay,
Or breaks it into a billion pieces.
it's a feasible plan. I like it. I think it can be done.
Oh my god, you're a dwarf.
Yeah,
Because all that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a shield breaker.
with
Come
the
on.
metal pulley, allowing the rope to move freely, and the leverage that you get from a big, huge, strong tree, with two dwarves
four of
pulling
us
on
pulling
it,
it.
and a halfling, and a priestess. Almost like 2.5 dwarves.
Wow. I mean, worst could happen. We just go back and get the other dwarf
All right,
really
one
quick.
of the dwarves. One of the dwarves can make a strength roll.
We should probably check and see. I think this Kaya's the stronger dwarf. Got 20. Yeah, it'll be Kazkaya.
As it stands with nothing more than the rope and the tree, I would say it is a standard thing that you all can do with all of you working on it together. It would eliminate any minuses that she may have. So straight up roll for Kazkaya.
Oh god, that was close.
Okay. Does she wish to re-roll?
Can we get success already?
Or do you want to try to do something to try to improve the chances?
We have more pulleys, right?
You do.
Ah,
Yeah.
But
trying to think where to put them to get the additional torque on it. You need to double your rope. We'd need another pulley up the top.
Probably not going to add much leverage, though, because you're still only going to have the same amount of strength pulling on the top.
Well, I mean, but the torque changes is what I'm saying. So
It does, and the rope
when you
would,
double
the
the
rope
length
would
of
be
rope-
stronger.
Yeah,
If
well, when
so,
you
if
double
you
the
put
length
like
of
a
rope-
pulley here and a pulley here, and then had it kind of like come to a point, so you're kind of pulling on both sides. Maybe that would assist a little bit if that's what you're talking about.
No, I'm saying the mechanical torque. When you increase the number of pulleys on one side and the other, basically the amount of distance you're pulling is halved when you increase it. So you're making a reductive system of pulleys where one rope. This is me talking though. I don't think Kaz is that smart.
Oh well, she's a
I mean,
dwarf.
Khazadrin is a miner. I mean, I imagine
Yeah,
they
he is
know
a
how to-
miner.
Yeah.
I imagine he's had to move rocks before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
I mean,
So,
well, why don't we do the point to point?
I mean,
And what Sash was-
basically what Khazadrin is saying is kind of a tantamount to the same thing I'm saying to increase torque. So,
You
Okay.
would want to basically make it so that the pulley is pulling on a pulley that's pulling closer to another pulley that you pull, so that it's
And that's
basically
less
having the
force
amount of
required.
weight that you
Yeah,
need to lift.
that's it. Okay. In that case, do it with a +10.
it. And then if this doesn't work, we just go get a third dwarf.
Yeah, who knows how Warhammer physics work, right? Chaos physics.
Paint it red. Oh, we got it.
Yay! Okay. So you heave and pull, and slowly you start to see like some of the dirt at the base start to push up. And then some of these rocks here kind of like flop out and over to the side. And with one almighty big whoosh, the huge big rock drops down and lands on top of all of your wooden logs. Okay, you have successfully, and this here would all be dirt by now, so let me do a thing.
I think my next character should just be an engineer.
Right, there you go.
I mean, that's actually a career exit that I could have gone. But it would take a couple career paths to become an engineer.
Mm.
I actually think you have to start as a miner, and then you become an engineer.
Yeah, I have a mining background, but I don't have a mining.
Yeah.
We all
Career.
start as miners.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Bad point.
Look at that look.
I think I've seen that before somewhere. I can't remember.
I think there's an iron stone in there.
Could be.
Sauron. There he is.
Alrighty. Yeah, so you've heaved the stone up out of the ground, and it goes crash down onto the logs. So you can roll it kind of forwards and backwards to some degree at this point with the logs.
Awesome.
Where are we gonna take this thing?
One problem
Or do
at a time.
Well, I mean, we didn't break it. We could relocate it, or we could just throw it in the river. We could. Maybe it can be used somewhere. Repurposed.
I'd like to see what a steel pike would do with this.
Probably not
I mean,
a lot.
I mean, like, if we move it away, how do we know if we're out of... Wait, no, it's just a rock. And I'm gonna look at Lena, kind of smirking.
It's just a rock.
The rock of my dreams. Look at this thing.
I don't
That's what
know.
I'm saying. It's a pretty decent rock. Like, I mean, I could make use of it somewhere.
I'm not gonna
Take it
lie.
back to the Temple of Verna.
I'm not gonna lie.
Make it
I'm
like
still a
a
little...
like a just a monument,
Roll
some
it
kind
the
of discussion
entire
piece.
way.
The mysterious
we have enough
rock.
gold we could pay off.
Yeah,
the
2 months
entire
later, look what we
workforce.
found. Do you want it? No. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, by removing a log, put it in front, rolling it, moving a log, putting it in front, you can move this thing over a distance or over a period of time. As long as you navigate through the trees, I really just need to know where you want to stick it.
But do we just put it further in the woods?
I mean, maybe we should ask the foreman.
Good point.
He probably isn't going to care as long as we get rid of it, but we need to know where to take it to get it out of the way.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you know that they're clearing trees in this area for development's sake. Of course, how far they want to move it, don't really know, but...
Yeah, let's get the answers to that.
Yeah, don't want to take it back to the camp. They'd be quite upset.
No, we've
yeah,
actually
that
probably...
might upset the Strigani.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't think we were going to be able to do it. So we probably should have asked
That's
what to
why
do with
you
it.
hired dwarves. Yeah, I mean, you're sort of right. The foreman, Thulgrim, will basically say, move it far enough away so the Strigani don't bloody well see it, and I don't care what you do with it. They just need to believe it's gone.
Alright, so we need to know how far the mill's going to be built out then, or how far they're going to go. And then...
Well, I would say if you can go... Take it 200 feet north, 200 feet east, or 200 foot west. You'll be alright.
Okay.
South. 200 feet west would be
Oh,
through the river.
Aye, that'll work. Or south.
Oh, yeah, poor options.
If you're not going to dump it in the water, then a couple of 100 feet away in any direction probably be enough. I doubt we're going to clear any more trees than that.
When somebody middle, you get one token.
All right. Well, let's go north first with it, and then pick a direction. And we'll go there.
I mean, north is the way it's already kind of rolling, so...
Yeah, we could just roll it up north, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So
Fewer rocks in the way northward.
Well, it will take you most of the day, or the rest of the day, should I say, seeing as, it was lunchtime before you got back here, but by the time it's gotten dark, and by the time that you've already heard the bell ringing for supper, yeah, that looks like 200 feet, that'll do.
also want to take some of these circled rocks and throw them, scatter them, I guess, make it less obvious.
Just
that
rough
it
up
was-
the spot where it was standing, make it look
So
more
the
natural.
Strogani don't come there and be like, well, there was clearly something there.
Well, they saw it. They know it was there.
No, I know, but I mean, it's...
Yep.
Want them to lose the power it has.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now there's little more than a big, ominous hole in the ground.
Dirt in it. Fill it up.
You want to fill it in?
We should probably eat first and then come back and
Sure.
fill it.
Fair enough. Okay, let's eat.
Alrighty.
Good point.
I don't know how you do
Well,
it.
it
with
is
your
getting
tiny
dark
little
by now.
stamina.
Okay. Back to the sawmill. And... Oh, I don't want that there yet. And let me move all of these back to where... Alrighty. Yeah, so you wander back into camp. And upon arriving back in camp, you can see everybody is kind of sitting around, staring at the fire that is now actually kind of running and burning and ablaze. As you walk back in, they go. You hear them all go. They all kind of like eyes pop up, and Thorgan goes, "About bloody time you showed up. Supper needs cooking."
Right. Yes. On it. I'm gonna start.
Doesn't matter that you've been working all day moving a massive rock. You're the appointed cook. Gosh darn it!
That's true. I'm gonna scramble into the shed, grab some fish on the wall, some meats, potatoes, leeks, whatever's in there, celery, fuck it, and run back to the fire and
I love a good fuck it meal.
start cooking, souls.
All right.
Over the hot fire.
You're due a success, you know?
I am due a success, so I roll my cook thing.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Cook it
All right.
up.
Fail not, Shaggot.
Yay!
Hey! I wondered.
All right. Yeah, you actually managed to cook up a fairly decent meal. The Joanna Stiegler, she gets a plate and says, "Oh, this is much better than the food we normally have. Well done indeed." And the others are all the Strigani are chowing down on it and nodding with approval, and a couple of them even pat you on the back as they walk away from the fire.
I fall into the fire and die.
And the dwarves patiently sit back and watch it happen.
Yep. I'm the last to eat. Probably the scraps of whatever's left over in the camp in the fireplace.
Okay.
A lot of people to feed.
Yep.
Imagine we're getting food because hunger happens after moving massive rocks.
It does,
200
doesn't
feet.
it? It's a hungry job moving a 15-foot tall rock. Especially because about
I got
5
hungry just
foot of it
watching
was in
y'all.
the ground, so
Spook.
yep. That's it.
I just love how she's like, guys, let's just move the rock. Come on, guys, move the rock. Let's move the rock.
How hard
And
could
then
it be? Get to work.
help at all.
All right, okay, yeah. So you all have a good feed, and everybody seems pretty satisfied. One of the Vistani kind of turns and you notice that they're all kind of like looking at you, like one of them wants to say something, and eventually they appoint one of them to kind of pluck up the courage to say, "So, what did you do with the rock? Where is it?
Well, we moved it
Moved it where?
northward, quite some distance.
How far northward?"
Why?
Is 200 feet? Is 200 feet a good amount?
As you say that, because you're kind of looking in Thorgrim's direction, he's like,
Because we
He says,
definitely went more than that. It's like 500 meters.
he said,
We lost count. We took it far away.
"As long as it is far away and will not interfere with the camp, I suppose that is good enough."
You know, we'll move it further for an extra shilling there.
Yeah, they're not going to pay you. And you already know that the likelihood of getting any extra money out of Joanna is not that.
Yeah.
In fact, Rutger Rooter was the only one that was willing to really throw money at the job.
Can you tell us why you guys what it is what that rock means to you guys?
He says, "It means nothing." And then another one quickly says, "And everything. It is clearly a strange rock form. Ages past. It's a bad omen, I'm feeling sure of it. Nothing good ever comes with interfering with such things. Our people are very mindful and wary of old, ancient things. It was clearly put there for some reason. After all, why would you put a massive rock in the middle of the woods near the river, and then painstakingly carve strange, odd markings all over it?"
If you ever saw a dwarven mind, you'd be very confused.
"I have heard the dwarven people are at one with the underground. Not so the Strigani. We prefer the sun and the air. and the flow of the river.
Well, why don't you go blow on back then?
He says, when our work here is done, we will return to our roaming ways.
Oh no, I just meant your posse over there. I was.
Oh, do excuse me.
Wait. I'm gonna
At which
hold up my
point he
hands.
looks at one of his, he goes, did that dwarf just tell me to go fuck myself? I do not understand. Did he just tell me to fuck off? But yeah, after they've all eaten, they all kind of do what they normally do and kind of traditionally just gather amongst themselves and start kind of, playing on little pipes and smoking and stuff like that and just chilling out.
I'm gonna look at Constantine and be like, that was a little rude, no?
Oh, yeah, I asked him about his dreams earlier, and he got all mad at me. So I wasn't.
But he was finally willing to talk to us and give us answers.
Yeah, but the grudge is settled, so honor restored.
Grudge? Who had a grudge?
I did. He was mean to me.
By being protected.
Dwarves don't forget.
But he was clearly being protective of their ways, which I would expect you guys to do all the time anyway.
Well, yeah, but that's dwarf ways.
Their ways
But
don't matter.
you can't see the similarity between dwarf ways and Stragani ways? It's kind of the same thing. No. I would expect you to understand.
I'm gonna look at them being all prissy with their pipe and whatever. Not the same.
Park and Steel, thanks for the resub. I didn't see it. Resub, thank you.
Fucking jackass.
Right, let's go bury that hole.
Okay, okay.
We could bury the rock.
Right?
Might need to move it back. We haven't slept yet tonight.
I'm just gonna follow Casatrin. Follow
Yup.
his lead.
I mean, I've been thoroughly effective this whole time, but that's okay. I feel like I need to monitor in order to write this all down.
Okay, so what do you guys doing?
Are there shovels at the camp? I imagine there are for.
Oh, there's
ground
plenty of
clearings.
shovels, yeah.
Yeah, grab a couple of those.
Alright, so you guys are going to go and fill that hole in?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm sure it doesn't go anywhere important.
No. Alright, you just
The
go
hole
back.
has shifted 3 meters south.
The stone is back.
It's a roaming hole.
Stone is back.
Stones?
Okay, yeah, I mean, it doesn't take you 2 dwarves long to fill the hole in.
I just need you to know if we did get back there and the stone was back where it was originally, I'd be like, nope, we're leaving this stone alone.
It clearly doesn't want to be moved. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it'll be, by the time you're done with that, I mean, it's kind of probably mid to late evening.
Yes. Come back to camp, go to sleep.
Okay.
Repeat.
All the Dragani will retire to their tents. Joanna will go back into her wagon. And the dwarf will head on inside to his bed.
All right, guys, high five. We took care of a problem.
Yep.
Okay.
It won't. Surely, it won't have any consequences.
We
for
won't
us
have
at
any
all.
bad dreams ever again.
Y'all kind of know what's gonna happen, don't we?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what's gonna
watches
happen.
for the
It
night.
probably won't be
Are
something
you
good.
setting up watches again, or?
Katskaya, because she's
Yeah.
not here.
I think the order was Kazadrin, Kazkaya, and then
I honestly feel like that when we went to that town, that Kazkaya probably would have got some kind of alcohol to bring back.
Yeah,
probably.
maybe she could probably manage to like a growler of ale or something like that from the local brewer for the locals, but there wasn't really a tavern to speak of. But
She probably would have
I'm
been
sure she'd
incredibly
have
disappointed.
found some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talented skill at finding alcohol, so yeah.
That should be
Yes,
on the
Alex.
sheet.
Was
Skill
part of her
find
training.
alcohol.
Alrighty. And you guys, how did you end up sleeping? Did
On
you
the
make like a
timer.
lean-to over here or
did a,
something?
No, we ended
were
up just
around the
setting
fire.
up our.
Oh, that's right. Y'all just slept around the fire
Yeah.
itself, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Moved my little.
Little sleeping
adventure
bag.
style.
Alrighty. Well, bright and early, you will be woken up at the ass crack of dawn, the ringing of the bell once more.
No bad dreams?
Oh, did I mention? Yeah, the exact same bad dream that you had last night, except for Kazkaya, who doesn't have a bad dream because
She's gonna think we're making this
middle
shit
watch.
up.
yeah, she thinks you're full of shit. Don't lie, you fucking guys.
It's not funny.
So
Bed, fire, claws,
So
chaos,
how
moon.
did the dream go again?
I will tell thee in just a second.
Sweet. Because I've slept a little
Like,
bit since then.
literally since then, right? Okay. So this was this is the now officially reoccurring nightmare.
Yep, happened enough times to officially.
Okay. You awake with a sudden jolt, your heart hammering against your ribs. Your memories of the nightmare begin fading away as soon as you awake, but you do remember a straw bed and fire consuming a hut. Great claws grasped and binded you with the twine. You recall the reflection of the chaos moon on the waters of the river, and being consumed by a great and angry eye. Your back was pressed down on a stone slab. Then you remember nothing save an intense anguish. A sense of having lost everything, forlorn forever. Whatever that means.
was the stone slab the same as the stone?
We don't remember anything apparently.
It's too vague a memory.
Okay.
There's not enough detail to really decide or know that.
Not that big this turn.
It's fine, guys. We just have to avoid
Oh, it's my favorite.
a
That
place
dream
with
goes
water,
so hard.
a straw hut, and we just gotta avoid the things in the dream. It's fine. The dream that we don't remember.
Okay.
Fuck.
All right, so we all wake up again, and I'm like, you will
I'm
hear me from
assuming
across.
Nelwick is to cooking.
Sure.
I mean, by all means, you feel free to roll, but at this point, you've mastered the art of campfire cooking around using the ingredients that you've got. So you're able to put up a passable meal every morning at this point.
Nice.
Okay, that's what I do. Passable.
Okay. All right. They all scoff a good breakfast, and set about their daily work.
Nobody mentions anything about their
Nope.
sleep or anything. These guys are probably just used to it by now. They'd probably be more surprised if they didn't have the dream.
Right.
Should we be worried that this is the second night in a row that we've been here that we've had that dream?
Probably.
Maybe we should move the rock further away.
Maybe we should have looked at what more closely at what it was marking.
Well, we tried that. None of us could make north or south of it, so we made far, far north of it. But
The
if
thing
there's any
is,
way we could communicate what's on it to someone who might know,
we
we
could
will
have
have to
done a
return
rubbing.
at some point. We have a 15-foot piece of parchment.
Do a rubbing.
I'm sure I have a lot of it. Maybe like several pieces put together.
Pages, yeah.
You know what? I'm probably going to do that actually.
Alright?
I'm going to make a rubbing of.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to clear off all the moss and like scrub it down and all to get a, to be able to, effectively do that. But it's certainly
Sounds like a
doable.
Nelwick thing to do.
Yeah.
Clean a rock.
Well,
Thanks. Thanks,
Well, it's
dwarf.
moss and stuff, you know.
So
Ranger.
I'm gonna clean it off, do a rubbing. I mean, we could move it further. Look, okay, I'm a math dummy and my directions are terrible. So we moved it however far away from the camp. I feel like that if we think it's the rock that's causing this, then it needs to be at least as far away from the camp as it was from the village.
So 2 miles.
2
then.
miles.
I mean, that's not a bad idea though.
It's
Like,
a
I mean,
lot.
they weren't
I
having
mean,
dreams at the village, so
that would be a significant undertaking to get that rock 2 miles.
what if
I
we
mean, it
moved it a
took
little
you
bit
all
every
day
day?
to move it 500 feet.
We would have to camp out to do that. Though.
And we don't know if the rock is there to prevent the dreams or what.
We could sleep on the rock and see if that makes the dreams worse.
I seem to recall one aspect of my bad dream had to do with laying on a stone slab.
But of course,
I don't wanna
technically,
lay
you're
on the
here
rock.
to work on the
The
mill.
mill.
That was removing the rock was the task, which
I
technically
mean,
you've
yeah,
done.
it doesn't really. Why do we care? I guess is what I'm saying. Like,
Well, we're hired to do it.
Yeah, Rutger specifically said that he wanted you to go and take care of that rock because
I mean, but yeah,
it's
we
holding
did.
things up.
So, like, just because we're still having dreams, would we really mess with the rock? We did what we were supposed to do.
I thought we're still having the dreams, and we were. So our prime objective is to go out, explore new worlds, and not interfere with the cultures. Secondary objective is
To live long and prosper.
to inspect what's going on with why this project is taking so long and deal with it as we can, which is
but-
done.
But it isn't, because if the dreams are the cause of the lagging, slowed down production,
Well, the rock was what was slowing it down. We
right?
weren't
But
clearing the forest because there was a
this place
creepy
has
rock.
had a lot of bad luck, and
Well,
I
yeah,
feel
but if
the
there were bigger
dreams have
problems-
to do with it. You know,
We're not going to get anywhere if they won't talk to us.
Well, they
So to
were
see it
about
through,
to
we
talk
need
to us
to-
until someone told them to fuck off.
Okay, so they were afraid of the rock, so let's take the rock really far away. Basically make the site look like there was nothing there.
Already
And
done.
maybe they'll warm up a little bit more to us because we got rid of the problem, right? Then maybe we can investigate a little more. Or
So-
though, you know, we were discussing that. Do we really care about the nightmares? Well, maybe it is good to take time to get rid of the nightmares if we can, because then they'll be more rested and they'll be more.
By my
Likely, yes.
calculations, to get the rock 10,560 feet away from here, because that's what it is, it's gonna take you at least 10 days. About 1,000 foot a day. Because, I mean, literally, you are picking up a log, moving it, putting all your weight behind the log, and rolling it. Picking up a log, moving it, and that's going to take a hella long time. And then
Get
between
more
that, you're
logs.
having to navigate your way through the trees, which, when you come to an area, there's not a big enough gap between the two trees. You're having to, like, maneuver it and twist it and turn it. So, yeah, I mean, at least 10 days of hard during work, for sure.
Maybe it would have been better to dump it in the river. Maybe the water would
River
like.
was a lot closer, but it was in the wrong direction.
I mean, we could roll it back towards the river from where it's at, but
I
that
mean,
wouldn't get rid of it.
how? What would just sink to the bottom of the? I mean, how strong is the current of this river?
I mean, a rock that size is not going to care about current. It's going to go down.
It's gonna
and-
go right into the
Yeah.
It'll probably mutate that damn pike and.
The pike will grow legs and come up on the
It'll turn
ground.
into a fucking leviathan, and we'll have to deal with that
And then
Now,
turn
could we
around,
roll the
revealing
rock
it's
onto
Snake.
a boat? Would the boat be able to hold the weight? Probably not, right?
A big enough boat, sure.
Yeah, we'd have to
the
make a
boat
barge.
that's here available, no. That teeny
Have
tiny
to
little
make a
rowboat
barge.
there.
You'd have to make a barge. Like, it would need the boat that we sank.
Yeah, spend 5 months building a small barge so that you don't have to spend 10 days rolling it. There you
Well,
go.
I mean, we don't know that it needs to be 2 whole miles. That's how far it was from the village.
We don't even know if it's the rock.
Well,
Exactly.
The rock might have been a marker for saying, hey, don't go near this land, bad dreamland.
What if we spend today moving it 1,000 whatever,
As far as we can.
and then see if anything changes? And we go day by day.
And if the dreams are still, I mean, we can't remember them, but if the nightmares are still as vivid as they were, then it's obviously not the rock. You think there would be a lessening somehow, maybe? The further it got away? That's what I'm hoping.
Or we find a way to destroy the rock and splinter it and make moving it much easier.
Flintstone it out of there. There you go. Turn
I'd
it into
like
a
to
I mean,
make
car.
you do
First-
that.
Just
I
in
mean, if we
case.
go back to the village with the old lady, they might have better equipment to destroy it and chip it.
It'd be easier to
Looking
move
around that
way.
village, there's not much that you saw that would make you believe that that was the case.
Yeah,
If
it's
we
more
could break it
efficient
up,
though.
though, it would be easier to move.
But if we break it up and it's there to serve a benign purpose, say stopping nightmares.
Well, it's not doing a very good job, is it?
No. No.
Well, as you're all standing around the campfire, now everybody else has gone back to work. After a little bit, Fulgrim says, "Don't you have jobs to do? Weren't you
Yeah,
assigned duties for today?"
You told us to move the rock.
Aye, because that's what his lordship told me to tell you to do.
We weren't
You've done
assigned
that.
any other role within the camp.
How did you sleep last night, Foreman?
Like shit, these beds are terrible.
You have any
Did you
good
have any dreams?
Yeah.
Oh, I always have bad dreams.
Can you remember any details? Just curious.
Not
I
really.
write everything down, scholar.
No. I usually just wake up and roll over and go back to sleep.
Do you know about what time?
Nope.
Didn't check your watch.
Sometime during,
Oh,
sometime
probably
during the night.
nighttime.
I think it's this river air that does it.
Well, we have a slight idea that the rock could be giving all of us the bad dreams, so we're debating how best to stop it.
Whether that be destroying the rock, taking it far away, both.
Even farther away, you see,
Aye.
which is just a lot of
Oh,
effort.
do the bad dreams scare you? Oh, is that it?
No,
Oh, the
but-
poor dreams.
Well, it's just the,
I'm just gonna
The three
like
of us
look
have been
really
waking
annoyed.
the three of us have been waking up at the same time having the same dream.
Well, maybe you should sleep on more comfortable surfaces then.
Right, let me go get my down
Needless to say,
mattress topper.
the work's still going. That's why we're all here, to build this blasted mill.
But if your workers are having bad dreams as well, eventually it will begin to affect their work if they're not
Which-
sleeping well.
It seems to already be happening, since we're already behind and coming to ill fortune.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you call ill fortune. I call it incompetence. They've saddled me with a bunch of ne'er-do-wells that don't really know how to do the damn job. I mean, I can only foreman and instruct as best as they're capable. I mean, when the mistakes have happened, when the pulleys have snapped, when the rope out, it's mostly just because they didn't tie the knots proper or didn't nail stuff down more securely.
Right,
Maybe
and
they're
that
tired.
could be because they're exhausted, exactly.
What do you want me to do? Give them a day off?
No.
That would put us behind. We can't have that.
Oh, no, we're not telling you to give them a day off. We're trying to figure out how to fix the problem for you.
He says, well, I'm not paying your bloody salary, so I don't care what you do. He said, if you're not going to help build the damn mill, then as long as you stay out of my way, I don't care what you get into. Piss away his lordship's money. I don't care.
He seems to do that fine himself.
Well, if the only thing that you're good at is moving a bloody rock, then yeah, I'm sure he's paid you for something that you've done your job, so you might as well clear off out of it. Except for the halfling, he can stay because he's a half decent cook.
I was just getting to the point where we should probably help build the mill and, see to it done.
Well, I mean, if you figured out how to move a bloody great rock like that, you can't be completely hopeless. I don't know. Go ask Ruta what he wants you to do, what part he wants you to work on. I'd tell you, but I'm sure it'll be wrong.
He's up here, isn't he?
No.
No.
Times like this that
Oh, he's not supposed to be here.
I really hate that being an asshole's not against the law.
It should be, then you could
Just
kill him
fight
for
this
it, right?
guy.
Oh, wrong.
Hey,
Yeah,
knock,
no,
knock.
that's not him. Where is Ruta? Yeah, that was him. Yeah, that's one of the Vistani. I mean, Strigani, sorry.
Let's call him Pastani. Let's make it consistent.
Right. Okay. You go over to his tent. There's no reply.
There's no reply.
I mean, yeah, he goes over and bellows at the tent, but he doesn't answer.
Did we see him at breakfast?
You did not.
Okay, I'm gonna.
You also
go
did
over
not
there.
see him last night either.
Oh shite. Okay, yeah.
Now you come to mention it.
I'm gonna go over and is there a door?
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
just
the front
it's
of
just
the tent.
basically like a couple of wooden toggles that just kind of hold the two flaps closed.
This
So, I mean-
isn't a straw hut, right?
No, it's
No,
just
it's
a
a
Okay,
tent.
thank God. Okay. I'm gonna knock very. I'm gonna knock very energetically on the door.
As I say, there's no actual door. It's just canvas. Just a canvas
The
flap.
flaps.
Imagine basically two canvas
Spook.
flaps, and
This
you
is
got
not
a loop and a wooden toggle going through it, and that's what holds the flap shut. So you can all you got to do is pop those toggles off, and you can.
Oh well, then F it. I'm just gonna walk in.
All right. Yeah. He ain't in there.
Spook is treating the flaps like that hot shot scene with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Like all the
You try
locks
to
on
be
it.
angry and slam a tent flap.
Yeah, he is not in there.
Awesome.
That's
Um,
just the.
Okay, well, I'm
Woman
gonna come out
Johnson?
and say he's not there, and
Okay.
I haven't seen him in quite a while. Has anybody seen? Like, when's the last time that you saw him?
Who are you asking that to?
The foreman, I guess.
Okay.
He would have been around here while we were gone all day. So
Yeah, he says that he hasn't seen him since yesterday evening. He said he's probably being lazy and half asleep still.
not in there. He's not.
He says, "Oh well, then maybe he slept inside the mill. I don't know."
Okay, well, let's go check the meal. I mean, I can see through the ceiling right now, and I don't see him in there. So,
And
but
yeah,
I'll
he is
go
not
look.
in there. So Kazadrin, you went and banged on the little wooden door that is on the wagon belonging to Joanna. Okay, she opens up and she says, "Yes."
We're just wondering, have you seen Ruker
Not this morning, no.
yesterday at all?
He is lazy. He sleeps in
Where's he been sleeping?
his tent right there.
Oh, it's not in there.
Oh, then I'm sure he's around here somewhere. He does very little work. In fact, he does technically no work. None whatsoever.
Difficult life of the nobility, I'm to understand.
Yeah, it's quite...
I'm gonna kind of waddle off dwarfly.
Okay.
I'm gonna go around the back end of this to see if I notice anything strange.
Give me a perception skill roll, will you, Mr. Nelwick?
Alrighty then.
Mr. Nelwick.
Do it. Find something.
I'm gonna re-roll. It's
That's
a new
new.
day.
Yeah, you are.
It's
We
a
probably
new
should have
day.
re-rolled more. Since it's a different day, we would have got
Hey!
Okay,
Love
yeah, you have a
seeing
good
it.
look around the back. I mean, it's the back of a tent. It's very close to the woods, but I mean, there doesn't seem to be any... Nobody's tampered with it. There doesn't seem to be any cuts, slashes, or anything weird to do with it. Seems perfectly normal.
It's funny that you say that, Prepper, because that's what I was thinking. He fell in the pit and we buried him. Not knowing he
He
was
just
in
didn't
there.
notice he fell asleep down there.
Are there any trails?
No, not that you can see on the ground or anything like that in and around there. Nothing obvious, anyway. Of course,
Right.
you know, did you be able to track?
Follow trail?
Like, follow trail, if you have that
Well,
skill.
that's what I'm doing, because I do.
Oh, well, there you go.
Woo!
Shit.
Do it.
No.
Find him.
I do have
No,
the
it's
most
annoying, it's
fortune
the same
points out of
number.
everybody.
Do you? I have 3.
Well, yeah, no, fate points, and I have 2.
So you only have 2 fortune points per day?
No, I have 3 per day.
Okay,
I
so you have
spend
2
one.
left. Yeah.
I have 2 left, so I'm gonna roll one more time. Long shot, long shot, long shot. Nope.
No.
Yeah, you kind of wander all the way around the back here, and you see nothing that would seem to be any kind of trail at all. In fact, but the only thing you can tell is typically it doesn't look like there's been anybody wandering around the back of the tent.
All right, I'm gonna return to the gang.
Okay, which all seem to be in the gathered around the door of the mill.
Well,
Yeah, he
when I go in the mill
definitely
and I
is not
don't
in
find
there.
him, right, I'm actually going to start to panic. Because, I mean, what the hell? Also, he's the guy that we were sent here to check on, and now he's missing. I'm gonna run out, and I'm just gonna start shouting his name,
Okay.
hoping maybe he'll hear if he's anywhere in the vicinity. Maybe.
Well, if he is, he's ignoring you because he doesn't answer.
Might be best to go check the suspicious rock.
Think he's at the rock?
I mean, it's just, what, 300
Okay,
feet
well-
that way?
Before we do that, maybe we check all of the tents here.
Okay.
Don't know why he would be in there, but making sure. We
Yeah.
need to go. I know that they're busy and they're working right now, but we need to go ask them when the last time, the rest of the crew, when's the last time they saw him?
I'll do
He
that.
wasn't
I'll do
there.
that.
He wasn't there for dinner, was he?
He was not. Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we
scurry
haven't
to the
seen him in a long
Stragani to do what Lena said and ask them.
Yep, none of them. I mean, they'll answer you while they continue to work over the sewing and the hammering, but they'll basically shrug their shoulders, and finally one of them will say that they haven't seen him since yesterday evening.
Cool. Okay.
And does
I
he
guess-
often leave the camp without letting anyone know?
I mean, a couple of days ago, he was gone for 2 days. Because
But they knew he was
for
leaving.
a reason. I mean,
Yeah, because he went and got you.
Right. I guess I'll start at this tent. Are you starting at that one?
Yeah.
Okay. You
Let's
guys
try to look
basically
for something
open all
suspicious.
the flaps
Yeah,
and just peer
peeking
in, and yeah, there's no Rutger rooters hiding in there.
Anything looking suspicious? That maybe...
Are you gonna root through the Stragani's
Yeah, I
gear?
wouldn't go that far. That's a little...
No, I am. I'm supposed to be here to find this guy.
Yeah, but he's not in the tent. He's not going to be in somebody's bag.
No,
I
but
mean, it
something
could be a bag of
suspicious could
holding,
be
Zach, come
in
on.
here.
Well, then he's dead already, and there's no point.
Well, there's point to me. I have to administer justice if somebody did something to the man.
Bag of holding isn't in this here.
I'm not gonna just like throw stuff everywhere, but I am gonna poke around a
Let's
little.
sneak in and yeah. You
see
would
if
be able to do
anything-
this one and this one without issue. But these where they're like have the ability to see what's going
Yeah,
on.
you would be an eye shot. They would get
If you don't want them to
extremely mad.
notice you going in and out of their tents, you're going to have to kind of do it discreetly.
Okay, well, I'll do the easy ones right now, and then I'll wait for a time that I can look at the others. But I want it to be relatively soon because I don't want them to be able to hide anything.
Well, I mean, they basically work here all day other than to come and sit right here and eat, and then they work again in the afternoon. Then they, I mean, thus far, they've never really been anywhere other than working here or in this area, so...
I mean, eventually they have to leave to go cut down more trees, right? That was the reason we moved the rock.
There is, but they have a hell of a pile of trees here already. So they will be cutting those trees, but probably not in the immediate...
He's not in the tents. We need to go look at the rock, and then he might be in the town.
As that's happening, I am going to. Is there any way to see within this wagon that this lady's in?
So possibly. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rely on blind luck. Because it does have like a couple of small little port windows on the side. Because this is the type of little wagon that you make home in, right? It's kind of like, you know the kind.
Yeah.
Like in the Wizard of Oz.
Sure.
So the question is, are the windows open or shut? So give me a percentage dice roll. 50% or less, and they are open.
Is there a percentage dice on the sheet, or do I just do the 1d100?
Let's do
I guess
slash D100, because...
All right, so 50 and more is good, or 50 and
you want, basically, you want under, so it would be 50 or less.
All right.
Woo!
Okay, yeah, as it happens, she's got the window open, and it's nothing for you to scrabble up on the little sideboard here and, like, peer in through.
Okay.
There's a nice, comfy-looking bed, some very well polished and decorated shelves and things like that, but you cannot see a Nelwick in there.
Good,
She's sitting.
because he's outside looking at
I mean, not a Nelwick. I
know
mean,
what you meant.
a Rutger. She's in there, just kind of sitting down at a little small desk, hunched over some paperwork that she's working on.
So there's no sign of a murder, right? Like a bloodbath.
Not in her. Not inside her wagon. That you can tell. No.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna run back and be like, I guess we go see the rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna just. The thing is, I don't believe that any of them would have done anything to him. He's the one paying them. Unless they were told to for money.
Yeah. Yeah. Kazadrin is right. We need to check the rock.
All right.
Right. On
so
the way
you're gonna-
there, be on the lookout for anything suspicious.
Okay.
Yes.
Like a
Yeah,
big
you guys
rock.
all wander through the woods up to where you left the rock. It is still there. No sign that anybody's interfered with it, but there is also no signs of Rutger there either.
Oh, maybe.
Where we dug? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the hole has not been disturbed. The dirt is still there where you filled it in.
Nothing
Which is
around it.
The surroundings. Yeah.
Looking for footprints. Any
Give
kind
me a
of
perception
tracks.
skill roll. Let's move you to that map, seeing as that's where you're at.
Whoops.
There you are. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah.
We're all looking.
If you're all scouring the grounds just for looking for stuff, give me a perception skill roll. Nelwick, you could be looking for tracks as you have follow trail if that's what you wish.
Yeah, I would do that too, honestly.
All right. Lena, you got a good set of eyes. You have a good scour around, but you don't see anything that would indicate anybody else had been here and interfered with anything since you were here last.
The rock is what you would call.
And
a
Nelwick
red
hasn't
herring.
found any tracks or trails.
Right.
Hmm.
I'm gonna scurry back. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Same.
Well, this is
And obviously, as I said, that's filled in now. So
Okay, guys, I have to say I'm a little concerned about having to go back to the priestess and tell her that we lost our mark.
Yep. Well, let's go check the town before anything else. At least we'll find out if he's passed through.
huh, look, there's some
Fair
dirt.
enough.
Yay!
Awesome.
There.
yeah. I guess go back to the village, right, or the whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Alrighty, couple of miles jump back to the village of Mattersheim. What's the general practice there? Wandering around asking town if they've seen this individual?
yeah, if they've seen him.
Have you seen a particularly foppish individual walking around gallivanting that he'll pay a bunch of money for
Yeah, he
things?
probably offered you money for something inane.
Right? Yeah, so who's taking lead on that, or are you like dividing up, or what's the game plan?
Yeah, I think we're dividing conquer.
The same. I think we would.
Do you think
Cover
that's
us.
something that as Kazkaya would bother with?
No.
No.
No, she wouldn't. Us three.
Okay,
would.
then all of you give me a gossip roll.
God.
Kazkaya's probably
oh,
going
God,
back to wherever she
10.
got the growler of ale.
Oh, there's no freaking way. I'm re-rolling that.
Look at you guys.
Oh,
You are cursed.
I'll spend my final fortune point of the day to
Wow.
reroll that.
How that can be like one of my best skills.
We need answers, damn it. There we go.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. So you come across several people that recognize the description because they have seen him. They have not seen him in several days, however.
Great.
With a 7, one of which will tell you that if he had come here, he'd have definitely come and found him because he sells a particular skin cream that he likes. He's a rudimentary apothecary, and he makes a moisturizing cream, and that Rutger Rooter often comes and purchases it from him. And if he was
He's an
bothering to come
apothecary.
here, as he said, a rudimentary apothecary.
Does he have any poultices?
It's possible. I'd give you
No way.
25%.
What you want me to roll?
D100/R space 1D100, 25 or under, and he might have some. Well, he will have some, or of sorts. 2!
He has many.
He has 2.
He has 3.
I will take them. How much does he want?
15 gold for all 3.
Christ. Okay.
5 apiece.
and this guy's a wealthy fellow.
I'll do
He
it.
says there probably work.
I will ask this gentleman, are there other places he frequents in and around the mill? Because we're worried about
I don't
him.
know. He's coming and goings unless he's here at Mattersheim. I've never been out to the mill. I don't know even. I've never been there. I don't know where he'd wander around his own mill.
Some pricey
The only other place I know he
decide.
goes is Nuln on the river barge.
So I'm going to look at everyone and say, on our way back, let's just walk exactly along the riverbed. The
Yeah,
riverbank.
you want to go check the crash site?
I mean, that is kind of on the way, right?
Yeah, I don't know why he would be
Yeah.
there, but I
Okay,
don't know why he'd be anywhere but the camp. To be
Sure.
fair.
makes perfect sense. Yeah, you go by the crash site. He's not there. So you guys are coming in via way of river. So let me just kind of put you guys here before I flip you back.
What?
Okay. So yeah, as you kind of come from the river, literally
shit.
as you're about to cut into the thing, you get a bit of a faint odor on the wind. And as you glance to the left, wedged amongst some of the rocks, It's Rutger Rooter, and he's probably been there, I don't know, at least a day.
Bitch. Okay. I was hoping it. I know this sounds bad, but I was hoping it was the old woman.
Ah.
Okay, well, we're running down there, and I'm gonna check him.
We did.
Okay,
Well-
yeah, there's no roll required to know that he dead for sure, but if you've got a, you have first aid, right?
I should. Wait, this isn't cyberpunk. Let me check.
It is under...
Heal?
I have heal.
Heal, yeah, that's what it is.
Is it checked for you? So,
Yeah.
It is for her.
yeah.
Being a priesty.
One more time. Shit, I might as well.
Another point
Something I'm
spent.
good for.
Ugh.
Okay, he's been here a whole day. He's been pretty much had the river and washed up and over him and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to tell how he might have died. There's nothing obvious. No dagger stuck in him, or his head's not all smashed in. I mean, who knows?
Well, I mean,
Maybe
we
he
need
just
to know.
wandered down here and slipped on these rocks and hit his head and died.
Well, I mean, maybe if I can get him out of the salt water,
Okay, you want to like pull
maybe
him up?
I can get and he dries off or whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
I
guys
can-
pull him up onto the bank. At this point, he's kind of a little stiff.
Well,
Well, I wonder if anybody would come down here. He's been here for a day, or he's been in the river for a day. Does the river flow this direction?
it
It
goes down,
goes
right?
south, yes.
Because we
But
were rolling
he was
up
not
river.
in the water. He was on kind of wedged in amongst these rocks. So, I mean, in theory, it's possible he could have slipped off of here and hit his head, and he could have been washed down and caught on these rocks.
See, that's what I'm thinking.
Possible.
Like, it could have happened further upriver, and then
But if you are, let's see, you're facing that way. You're facing that way. So everybody except Khazadrim, purely because of his location, give me a perception skill roll. Is your tracking higher than your perception, Nelwick, or no? Or is it the same?
It's literally the same.
Okay, then
what is up?
I will give you a plus 10 if you use tracking.
Well, then I'm not going to use tracking. Hey!
Can't roll for beans.
That's one.
Yay,
That's
Satch. That's really. back.
Examining the ground, in and around where he is, you see some rather strange,
Oh.
and weird-looking footprints.
What the fuck is that? I'm going to pick up a stick and outline one of the footprints
Okay,
to show
so that everybody can see it. Okay.
Right.
I mean, right here, the ground is kind of dirt and soft, being close to the river, so it's not that hard to spot. That's why even an untrained person could have seen it if anyone would have
Okay.
rolled worth of shit.
Well enough. Yeah. I'm just pointing it out to them.
And the only reason that Khazadrin hadn't seen it is because he's still behind this big pile of logs right here, so he hasn't really seen
Yeah.
over this part set just yet.
We have a major problem here, guys. Look at these. That is not human.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It doesn't look like.
Now, what made those?
I need to do one more set.
I do have outdoor survival. I mean, it's all kind of the same number on my sheets.
Okay.
But I do want to kind of identify what the hell these are.
Yes, please.
Sure, give me a roll.
But I have no more fortune points left, though. I'm sad.
You can have my last one. Damn it.
Damn it.
Aw.
It's like a bear.
I mean, clearly whatever it is has
Balls.
big claws and big feet. It's certainly not human. It is obviously some form of animal for sure. And by the size of them, it must have been quite large.
I'm gonna say an animal, quite large. I don't know what it is though.
All right, so avoiding those prints, I'm gonna come into camp. We need a tarp or something. I figure we can take him into his cabin.
Okay.
It's you mean?
Are you going to kind of take him in here?
Yeah,
Or into his tent?
no, into his tent.
Okay.
I'm thinking I don't want him to be like in the center of camp because obviously he's gonna reek.
I mean, he doesn't reek too bad right now. He's still obviously, you know, I mean, he's not decaying as such. He's just started to bloat a little, and
Well, you said he's stiff, so rigor's
still-
already set in.
yeah. So he obviously, you know, I mean, rigor. With a good heal roll, you could have probably utilized that to figure out the time of death.
Yeah. I mean, it only like takes like 2 hours for
It's a
rigor
couple
to
of
set
hours
in.
for rigor to set in, and then usually it hangs around for at most about
like
24
6 to 8
hours.
is
Yeah.
when it's full, and
And then maybe up to another half a day or so, or a day, and then your body goes all limp again. But
Well, I'm gonna be over here searching for a sign of struggle or abduction. I mean,
I
yeah, I'm
can
gonna
give
be
me a
checking
perception skill roll.
I'm gonna go inside his cabin and check.
Okay.
You checked the
Or-
back, right?
I
Check
did
it?
check the back. Yeah.
Okay,
There was-
I'm gonna go inside and check.
No, wait, you have a good. No, there's really no sign of a struggle here at all.
That's so weird. And I'm gonna point this out to Kazadrin. If it was an animal attack, well, we were out in the open.
Might
Right.
not- well,
If,
Right
it,
there.
if it happened while you were here,
But how could an abduction happen with no one hearing us?
that's
I mean, it's probably pretty loud where they're working.
you would have thought. I mean, if it happened during the day, there's a lot of noise over here, but I mean, unless this thing snuck in and just grabbed him and he was done for.
Okay, well, I'll search around inside his cabin.
Alright. Give me a perception skill roll.
I swear to God, if I roll another 70,
No, you can roll worse than that. I mean, you find a lot of personal effects and stuff, but again, nothing weird, nothing strange, nothing ominous, and certainly nothing that would lead you to believe something unpleasant happened inside his
oh, he
tent.
probably wasn't grabbed out of here. Maybe,
And
animal
also,
prints may not have anything to do with him. It could have been something that was looking at the body.
if you recall, yesterday evening, you actually had to undo the toggles. So whatever it was, obviously didn't.
That's true. He
Unless this
probably
animal
left.
did the toggles back up behind itself.
So he probably wasn't here when it happened. Not in his cabin.
I'm beginning to think he was where Kazadrin and I are standing because the footprints even stop. We don't. They didn't.
But
They
the
didn't even
print-
make it to the tent. You know.
Yeah, but the prints also don't.
Yeah,
Do they
they
seem to
made it up to
completely
about
stop?
where you're. They made it up to about where Kazadrin is standing.
Okay.
So they made it to the edge of the tent, but there's no sign of them at the front, the back, or whatever.
And this is a sitting log, huh? Like a stump.
It is a small stump. I mean, you definitely could sit on it. Yeah.
Right.
Now
So I'm
we
gonna be
got-
like, I think he was sitting on the stump, and it got him.
But we don't see the. You don't see the footprints running any other way.
Yeah, they just stop here.
That is a good point. There are no footprints returning back to the water for sure.
Now, is it possible that the prints, that whatever it was, came out of the water?
I mean, that's what it looks like.
God, the pike developed legs.
I mean, by the
Gross.
you willed it into action, didn't you? You willed it into being. No, from that's certainly what it looks like. It looks like from where the footprints start, being right at the shoreline. It looks like something came out of the water up to here, but it didn't. There's no tracks to indicate that it went anywhere else.
What if whatever it was saw him sitting on this log and then like jumped into his soul, you know, like possessed him and
Yeah, you
lured
remember
him
how
back
we
to
were
the
talking
water?
about how the rock was just a rock? That was more likely than what you just said.
It
But it
moonwalked
could've-
back in. It was friggin' Michael Jackson did it.
No, it possessed. No, hear me out. It possesses him, and then he, with his human feet, walk into the water and drowns and dies, and then he's like crashed up
You
against
didn't
the
see any
riverbank.
human footprints back to the water through
Well,
that
the
path
problem
either.
is
though.
I can't tell how he died. I feel like that would be a huge clue if I could figure out possibly how he died.
Well, then you ask the people of this village, this construction site. Maybe they
Should
should.
have taken Barber.
From the way they're behaving and the fact that the answers you got, it's a fairly good chance that either A, they are unaware that it's happened, or B, they know that it happened and don't give a shit, or C, they know that it happened and are trying to cover it up.
Well,
Right.
that
But I mean,
the
they're
best
not
paid.
acting
He
like they
pays them.
found a dead body and said, "Oh my God, he's dead."
Well, that begs the question then, do we tell them?
Yes. Their financier is dead.
Technically, she's the one that has control of the money right now.
Yeah.
Right, and
Well,
she's
that
a-
brings me to my next thing. Maybe we shouldn't say this so loud and within earshot of the wagon.
Well, people need to know it happened because it'll.
Right, people need to know it happened, but also people don't necessarily need to know that we know that it happened. We might want to keep this between us for now, just for a moment. Maybe, again, we might want to move away from the wagon. There's someone in it who might.
So
I mean,
you
can
want
wander
to?
into the trees
suspect-
at any point.
I mean,
if you
wait.
want a bit
So
of privacy.
Khazadrin, you want to go away from here to talk about what and do what? Because if we need to tell
Well,
the people,
let's get away and talk about it first.
I'm gonna kind of roll my eyes and walk back to the site of the discovery,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna look at Khazadrin and be like, "Now, do we tell the people in this place that one of their financiers is dead?"
Who here would have a motive to kill him?
Well, we don't know that anyone here did kill him, but if they did, we could be tipping our hand, or it could be valuable to keep the information to ourselves for now.
To what? I'm failing to understand to what end. The whole dynamic of this place is different now.
Right. And
So,
if somebody had anything to do with this,
So we went around and we
Defending
asked
them.
them, have you seen him? Nobody said, yes, I found his dead body down by the...
right, so they don't know, or they're covering it up.
well,
But the Stragani would not cover it up because they get paid for this.
She's the one that's in control of the money, though.
Well, it's a
He's
partnership,
in
right?
control
It's
of the whole
50-50.
thing. It's a partnership, and he's getting funded from his family.
Maybe
and
they killed him and
she's
didn't
running
notice.
her own funding. So
It was an
my
accident.
concern is he's promising out all of these funds and stuff, and maybe she has some sort of promissory note that the funding will pour in. Securing that family's money and continuing the project on her own money might be her motivation. If she's promised collaboration and money through paperwork, then with him out of the way, she can continue with his money, and then the proceeds of the mill don't have anywhere else to land but her.
Sometimes a motive is just... Sometimes there isn't one.
But still, the point stands. Those are not human feet near the source. And if she wanted him out of the way, she would not leave him so close to the camp to be found
Maybe they didn't. Maybe he came from down the river.
up the river.
We don't know that the animal prints have anything to do with this.
It could have been afterwards, but it does go right up to his tent.
It just doesn't feel that way. I'm sorry, because he's been missing ever since we moved the rock. At most, right? I mean,
It's your fault.
Are you saying we did this because we moved a silly rock?
I'm thinking when we go to sleep tonight, someone else is going to get killed. That's my suspicion. So, in that sense, this place needs to be warned at the very least.
Well, if
I
you
think
think
at
it's
least this-
magic, it's not going to matter if they know.
My concern is with the dreams, the rock, and everything going on. This, to me, seems like the wheelhouse of one of them chaos folk. And I don't know why chaos people kill people. It's the same reason they do the other things they do. What was that guy?
Well, they don't have reason. If they had reason, they wouldn't be chaos.
Exactly.
Random shit.
So
Don't know
what
that
I mean
trust
by
the lady who wears purple. Is
Yeah,
all
I'm getting
saying.
some feedback from some reason.
Yeah, you've been saying that since day one. That's
Okay.
true.
Well, she had some person in her thing, made some deal with him. He left. We never saw him again.
That's a good point. But I peeked in her wagon earlier, and I didn't see any evidence of foul play or weird shit.
You wouldn't leave it out.
That's another good point.
Gore, just curious, how I'm just an initiate, so I don't have any authority from my church, do I?
I mean, not.
I mean, I'm not supposed to tell them who I am.
No,
but
not
the guy
really.
I was not supposed to tell who I was is dead.
Yeah, I mean the main point was that you guys were to come here and find out why their things are going slow and to see if what you could do to.
Alleviate any problems, and now we've just been dealt a much bigger problem.
All right, all I'll say is this.
But I'm sure that the man, as soon as it was the guy's dad that hired or paid for you to come here and do it, I'm sure he'd kind of like to know where and what happened to his son.
Agreed. Well, also as an initiate, even though it's not my job being here, I can't stand for injustice if something's been
Right.
done.
If there's
It's not
if there's
natural.
murdery going on, we need to deal with
Yeah,
it.
they're exes.
That's why I'm like, I wonder how much authority an initiate would have, because it doesn't seem like they would really be able to be like.
All right, this is my thought process. I don't think the Stragani have anything to do with what befell this guy.
Everyone's guilty until proven innocent.
It doesn't make sense that they,
I like
superstitious
that
and as they are, would jeopardize their own income, and it seems like they'd be an easy target to blame. Now, we know the foreman is kind of a dick. We know that the woman was up to something. We don't know what it was. Those are the two main culprits in this camp. Right?
Yep. And I don't think this is the work of a dwarf. Personally, might be a bias.
Absolutely is a bias, although I do agree with you in this instance.
I have to say, I'm suspicious of everyone except my companions.
I have
So-
one. I have one suspect.
She is, or whoever she was dealing with that day when we first arrived, probably the most likely suspect in this instance.
And I don't know what the animal tracks are about. It could have left after inspecting the body. But also, well, I don't know much about chaos magic, but they do all kinds of weird things.
Why does it have to be chaos magic?
Oh, there's no other kind of magic.
I beg your pardon.
There's many kinds.
No, it's all chaos.
There's divine magic, but all arcane magic is ultimately from the substance of chaos. It's just some
That is
people
true,
have figured out how to manipulate it for good things. But that's why even when you're doing good, there's always the elements of bad that happen.
All right, so how do you want to approach this?
Well, as I said, everyone's a suspect except for you three and myself.
And the Stragani.
No, they're suspects as well.
They didn't do this.
What
I'm
benefit?
sorry, but
would-
that's not up to you to decide.
Well, I mean, it clears completely on their motive. They work all day. They're supervised all day, and they have no reason to kill their employer.
You don't have to have a reason to kill someone.
Like, Lena,
But you kind of do.
I'm sorry, but
No,
I
it could
know
happen in the moment. You don't
this-
have to plan it.
Oh,
this is what's going to happen, Lena. If we go to
Oh, you're
them
telling
and-
me what's going to happen. Okay.
I know what's going to happen. If we go to them and
yeah,
say,
he is.
"Hey, you're suspects because someone has murdered your financier," they're just going to leave because they don't want to be here anymore.
Why would I go to them and say that? I would not say that.
What would you say then?
There's a little thing called being discreet and investigating, which is why I'm saying we don't tell them
Those
he's
are two
dead.
things.
the two main things are surprise and alarm.
A man who's responsible for half the production of this job is dead.
Also, the man who holds the contract.
There's no being discreet here. They're going to find out.
They are
Even
going
if
to
we
find
don't
out.
say anything.
Why
And
do
when
they have to
find
find out?
they're going to leave.
Because they're going to ask for money and it's not going to be there. Because the guy
Also-
is
Nobody
missing.
seemed concerned when we said he was missing
Well, it
earlier.
was normal for him to go out for like 2 days at a time, but that's Mel is going
Then we
to
need
get
to get
out.
to work, don't we?
Right,
I just-
so we need a plan of attack. We can't just go about this.
Attack!
Well,
Without-
yes, but I haven't had time to develop a plan of attack. I'm saying we
Because-
don't tell
but
them
we
that
are
we found him.
are on a limited time, so I think questioning the Strigani when they have no motivation and very little reason behind doing this, other
Once
than
again, that crimes of passion rarely have logical motive.
okay, but where's the passion? They all
We
disrespect
barely
and
know
dislike
these
the guy.
people. We've only been here a few days.
Just-
We haven't even spoken really to them.
So your plan of action is to not say anything to anyone, wait another night, and then what?
When did I ever say any of that? All I've said
You
so
said
far.
be discreet. How do we be
Yes,
discreet?
we don't go up and say, "Hey, we found your employer dead."
So what do we say?
Well, you got to be creative about it, right? You have to find out more about these people and their relationships to one another.
Okay.
And we likely need to hide the body.
Well, we already did that, so apparently we're covering up a crime.
We're not covering up a crime. You're with a
This does
freaking
look like we're
initiator,
covering
we
Berta.
kind of did. We moved a dead body to his tent.
Okay,
And-
but you have someone that's with a temple of law.
But no one here knows that.
Oh, see, she says she does.
Well,
you
none
know,
of them
she
know
says she
that,
is.
no.
None of them know it. So
Yeah, and we don't
Who
have any
cares what
evidence
they
that we're
know?
charged with this. Well, we do because I don't want to have to fight them off when they're completely innocent. If they think
You
that we
won't.
did it, well, if we leave a trail that leads them to believe that we're the perpetrators of it, they might come after us.
Then don't leave a trail.
we already did.
We already have. We're the first
There's
ones to discover the
literally a
body. That
trail.
makes us the most likely to have
Okay,
committed the
but
crime.
if we take and we hide the body, you really think they're gonna find any of the stuff that we've even found? The guy was down there for over a day.
You are you seriously saying we should cover up the tracks of the animal thing?
No,
Okay, because that's clearly a trail.
not
it is
our
clearly a trail
trail.
to his tent.
No body, no crime.
I think it's time you unveil your connection to that temple and we start asking questions.
You
For
already
justice.
said that if they find out, they're going to leave.
Oh, they're gonna leave, but I also don't think they're responsible for what happened here. So
I
don't
can't make
care
that
they-
judgment yet.
Right? So we go to the foreman and we let him know.
I think
No,
the
he's
foreman
a
is our-
suspect too.
So what
But
do
he
you
is our
guys
best
do?
to start with.
Are you not listening to me? We hide the body
Done.
and
It's in
we
his tent.
investigate.
He's sleeping. How?
And get to know more
Okay,
about
but
the people.
how are we
Have you never seen
investigating?
a crime drama?
No, what is a crime drama? Look, all I'm saying is all we're saying is we're going to have to talk to somebody And we need to choose who we're talking to with some amount of rationale.
Yes, we're going to talk to everybody. We're going
With
to
some degree of
continue as
rationale.
if we did not find a dead body.
Okay, so then we're going to go to bed tonight, and then what happens?
We're gonna. Oh.
Wake up, more people
you
are
just
dead.
see Lena turning bright red.
What we're saying is we need to know what we're doing discreetly. We can't just say acting with discretion.
Okay, when I mean acting with discretion, I mean not doing what was suggested earlier, which was, hey, your boss is dead.
Well, they already know he's missing because we
Yes,
let
they
that
know
out of the
he's
bag.
missing. That's all they need to know.
So then what do we do?
How many times do I need to say it? We need to get to know these people.
How do we get to know them?
You interact with them. You act like you are working here in the camp, like we were sent to do, and like we were supposed to do, undercover.
Well, what we were supposed to do, we failed at, so we need to come up with another idea.
I have not failed.
Motherfucker's dead.
Do you understand what it means if I fail? I
Technically,
never
you weren't
get to become
sent
a
here to
priestess.
to save him.
I mean, it's...
This may not be important to you, but it is to me. This is everything I've lived my life for up to this point.
No, Lena, I completely respect that. I'm just at a loss of this strategy. I'm not going to casually talk to the Stragani people without alerting them that they're in danger. That's just not in keeping
We don't
with
know
who
that
I
they're
am.
in danger. You're making assumptions.
We
feel
have a
like
murderer
I'm
on
in
the loose.
danger.
We don't know that he was murdered. I can't
was-
tell what killed him right now. You're making assumptions with no evidence.
I am onto something, and I know I'm onto something. My halfling heart is telling us,
You know
that
what?
we are in danger.
Let's
I
do
don't-
whatever you guys want to do. You want to run into the middle of camp and say that we found him dead
No.
and let everybody
That's why I
leave?
specifically said, everybody, let's take a step aside and speak in confidence really quick, because we don't want to alert everyone.
Okay, but you guys are... Then you're giving me a conflicting argument here. I'm saying we don't tell them, but then you're all acting like we can't be discreet. We need to tell them.
No, we need to know what we're doing and in what order. We need a plan.
I'm giving you a plan. We
That's
don't
not a
tell them he's
plan.
dead. We hide the body, and we interact with them as what we were sent here to do
What
to
does that
begin
actually
with.
accomplish, though?
You get to know them and understand how they interact with each other. Look, we just came
Okay,
in
but-
and we're like, hey, he's their boss. They didn't do it because they're just working for their boss. What if he did something that pissed them off? Maybe he promised one of them more money and they didn't get
So
it.
what you're
We
trying to
don't
say is
know.
you interact with them normally, and then hope that you kind of ascertain if anybody hated him, if anybody had any reason to have done it, that sort of stuff. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
by being discreet, we're not like. So, have you ever killed anybody?
No, that's not a. That was never an assumption. What I'm saying is, sure, there's that, but what does just getting to know them really accomplish when?
But I think that's what she's saying is it's not so much getting to know them as people, it's getting to know how things operate around here and get an answer and kind of get a feeling for how
I
and
mean,
what
they've
they
been here
think
for
about
quite a
Ruger.
while.
Like, was any of them likely to have done this sort of thing?
I don't think that's the kind of thing that comes up in light conversation while building a mill. I just don't see it happening,
What
and
type
with
of
our
thing?
lack of charisma, I just don't think we can pull it off.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, we have been failing all our rolls all day.
This is my job. It's my job to do these things. To find out who is guilty. If
Lena-
anyone is guilty.
Lena, I completely
She is now
understand
the
that.
Ichabod Crane character. She has to prove her methods work.
So I'm just going to look at Lena and say, I understand that that's what you want to do.
It's not what I want to do.
No, but you think who needs to be done. I get that. I just don't think hiding a dead body for the purpose of ascertaining justice is the right way.
It doesn't
when
matter
someone
what
is
you do to
Wait.
obtain justice.
it,
Sometimes you have to take unorthodox methods. Isn't that not the whole reason I was sent here?
I'm gonna go talk to her.
I have no authority to keep them here if we tell them their patron is dead.
or act like you do have authority because you are of that temple. They don't need to know your rank. They don't need to know that you have a
That would be blasphemous to pretend I'm higher station than I am.
But it's unorthodox and for justice. You're doing the right thing.
No, it is precisely against Verna to pretend I'm higher than my station.
Whip out the holy symbol.
Yeah.
Temple of Verna, open up.
Flash
We
your
just
badge.
talk about what we already know. Like, quickly set the grounds for what we understand has happened to the best of our ability.
Okay. 1, we've had dreams 2 nights in a row that have scared us, woken us up, and made us feel threatened and in danger. 2, we move a rock that the Strigani are afraid of moving or even touching because they have some feeling that it's religious or dangerous or something, it's been here for a long time. 3, the day we move the rock, our main financier vanishes. We later find him dead with strange animal tracks leading to his tent.
Are you
That leads me
simply
to believe.
stating facts right now, or are you connecting things? Because it
Well,
sounds
no,
like
I'm
you're
saying-
connecting things.
Well, those are all kind of connected, no?
We don't know that they're connected. You're making assumptions
Well, they're
again.
connected because they're what happened here. They're not connected because of causality. These are
think they're-
just things that happen.
Well, that's why I asked: Are you
Right,
simply
but-
stating facts, or are you making
so
connections?
now the facts are stated, right?
I
What
think there's a connection.
can we imagine is happening here that might glean some reasonable doubt in any of the characters around the place?
You can't imagine what could happen. You have to have the evidence.
Right,
You
but
have
you
to
don't
have
know where to
evidence
look
that
for
leads-
evidence until you have an idea of what might have happened.
That's not how investigations
That's literally
work.
how it
You
works.
can't
That is
form an
exactly how it always
idea-
works.
If you form an idea in your head of what is happening and what happened, and then you find evidence and try to use the evidence to fit together to fit what you believe happened, that's backwards. You find the evidence
I'm
and
gonna
put
need to
the
take a
evidence
break.
together.
Oh, you need to pee? Fine.
You put evidence together to form what happened. You can't make your evidence fit the crime or your idea of the crime. You let the evidence talk to you.
Like the board, and then I thought like they token.
Well, seeing as Satch had to rush and take a pee break, now would be a good time for a pee break. If anybody needs one.
I'm good for now. I can hold out.
It's 10:10 already, so
Yeah, it is. Holy shit. Okay.
you know, reach your 101. If you preconceive a result, it hampers the investigation.
I mean, that is true, but then again, we are in Warhammer.
Right, that's
we
right.
don't have the knowledge of our cop procedural shows and how
No, that's right.
behavioral science units and shit,
No,
you know?
okay, but
Like-
maybe. But see, the thing is, that idea comes from somewhere, right? Lena would know this.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is she is the.
I mean, that's true. That is, yes, that is true.
Let's put it this way: in lack of having a sheriff in town, you have a deputy. That's the closest thing to law you have.
Right. Yeah, no. The pushback here, Spook, is just Nelwick is just connecting dots, and to him, he sees a straight line through all that he just stated. Now, that is true that you're drawing a conclusion based off of a preconceived idea, but he doesn't know better. That's the only reason why there's such friction here going
He's
on
a
right
half.
now.
Yeah, he's a
He's a
halfling.
halfling.
He's
It
simple
seems
folk.
a logical conclusion point. It's like
He found big nasty cloth, big nasty claw prints.
Right.
There was a big nasty rock that and you're having bad dreams, he has decided in his little brain.
And the Strogani are afraid of the rock, and
Yep.
you know,
he has made his assumptions.
it has
and he's sticking to
markings.
it.
Yeah, he is absolutely just connecting the dots. Probably, whether it is accurate or not remains to be seen. But
Right.
that is the cause of it all. I mean, this friction, this
That's
fight
right.
right now. Also, he doesn't want to be accused of hiding a murder, which is what's
We
being
won't
suggested.
be.
And
They
but
have
we
no
are.
authority over us. I'm here under some authority.
Which you're not letting them know you have, right? That's the other thing, is he wants you
If
to...
they know what I
shed your
am,
cloak
they will
and-
be more on guard.
So we can kill them then. Fuck them.
And then, as far as showing, like, it being wrong to hide the murder or hide the body, police hide evidence all the time. They don't
That
reveal
doesn't make
everything.
it right!
They do it every time, like, during big cases all the time. They don't reveal all the evidence that they've found.
Right, but usually when someone is dead, it kind of creates a kerfluffle no matter what you
Okay,
try
but,
to do.
like,
And hiding it doesn't work.
if you went with our current world, yeah, they can't play close to the chest. They can't say, like, completely neglect the fact that they found a dead body or whatever, right? They can't do that. But they also have the authority to detain people, which I do not have in this scenario.
Right.
And you've already established, both of you, and I agree, that if we tell them that their patron is dead, they will leave. Of course, that doesn't
Which
matter
is-
to Nelwick because he doesn't believe they did it. But I
Yes.
don't have evidence that says they didn't right now. All I have is
That's-
Nelwick's feeling.
Absolute accurate what you just said. Yes, that is true.
Yes. Ba, 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 ba. I'm going to put up the AFK banner while we're waiting. In case anybody has any questions.
Yeah, guys, you got any questions? Anything you want to ask? Any opinions about what's going on right now?
Yeah, chime in. Chime in by all means.
We hadn't had a good argument between me and Shagget in a while.
Yeah, we've gone several years without actually resorting to this kind of character friction, huh?
Well, hey, you know, but you've got characters that logically are at odds in this sort of scenario. So.
Oh, like,
I mean,
like,
yeah, it's-
believe me, at this point, I just want to be like, okay, guys, let's just do whatever you guys want to do. But I'm like, but Lena wouldn't do that.
Right.
Well, that's the thing, because Nelwick absolutely is in that frame. Like, well, all right, let's see how this goes, even though he thinks he knows. I mean, let's remember, guys, Nelwick felt pressed into being a deputy, right? So this is not how he naturally works. And also how the negotiation with the corrupt guy and the torture guy, that was all surprising to him. So he's absolutely a fish out of water in this situation.
Yep.
So I have to play.
I mean, I get it from a very basic standpoint. You know, if you're gonna tie the dreams to the rock, and you move the rock, and then someone dies and there's tracks. I mean, I get where you're coming from. That a basic person would make the assumption that somehow they are connected, right?
Yeah, I think because I understand, you know, Spook is like, I just want to see how it goes, but then Lena would do that. Nelwick is at that stage where he just wants Lena to let her freak flag fly, and just shower them with her authority.
Well, and that's it.
Yeah, but
That's
she
what he
doesn't have
wants.
any. That's the
You've made
problem.
you've made your
But-
points.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, whether she does or doesn't, he doesn't care. She's the only one with any modicum of authority here. So fuck it. Let him think that she has more than she has.
right?
But I understand that that's against her creed. That's fine. But that's where Nelwick is right now, because we arrested those dwarves and that.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
if they make the assumption that she has authority, that's different. But
Yeah.
I get what she's saying. She's not going to lie and
Sure,
say
100%.
that she's what
Yeah.
she isn't. No, it makes perfect sense. Why
That makes
would
sense
she?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right.
Hi, Satch.
So,
Hi.
what do you want to do? What are you going to decide on? I guess the first question is, are you telling anybody about the fact that he is dead? Or are you keeping that quiet for now? Until
I
you
guess
hope.
Lena has said her piece about what she thinks
Yeah.
should happen.
Well, I think everybody has. So it's like
Yeah,
your
let's-
options,
didn't
you know,
even
to
get
kind
to
of
my
boil it
point.
down with everything that's discussed. The options are option A, keep it quiet for now, observe, mingle, and see if any information comes up, or if you figure out by behavior or small talk or something that gets said in without realizing while they're busy working, if anything was brought to light indirectly. To that second point, at some point, someone will notice he's not here. Ultimately, given another day or so, this body is going to start to begin to decompose. There will be smells. So
yeah, we
that's,
may have to take it somewhere else.
yeah, you got to sneak it off out. If you want to do that, you got to sneak it out. But again, once they start asking, where is he? What are you doing then? Do you lie and say, we have no clue? Or, well, we hate to tell you, but he's dead. But of course, if between then or now and then something comes to light, well, then you change, course of direction. And the other option is to go and tell either the dwarf or Joanna. You can do it either discreetly, you can call a big town meeting, a big camp meeting. So really, that's what you've got to figure out, is which way do you wish to go?
I feel like our biggest leverage right now is they don't know that we know.
Yeah. But of course, if none of them are responsible,
Then it'll be fine. But we don't know that they're not responsible right now.
Or none of the people here are responsible, and we're endangering them by not telling.
What is telling them going to change as far as them being in danger?
It's the right thing to let them know.
Yeah.
But okay, let's be discreet, and then see what happens tonight.
We want to move the body.
Well, we already did, right?
you moved
I mean,
it into
move it
the
out
tent.
of the camp.
I'm not going to move the body again. We already moved it once. If you guys want to move the body, do it.
Also, where are you going to put it? The beasts and stuff won't get it and eat it. Under a big rock. Under a massive stone. Or, as we're right at the end of the show anyway, we can leave it there and pick it up next time. It's up to y'all.
I think it's a good stopping spot.
It is. Alright, well then that is what we will do. We will leave it there for this evening, and everyone can figure out and think upon between now and next session what they wish to do and how they should proceed. And also
Maybe
Nat can give
Kazkaya or
her
something
10
to add.
cents when she's back too.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Good deal. Alright, well, if anybody's got any quick questions, now is the time to ask them. We'll do a short Q&A. Family tradition, right? Any questions, folks? No? No questions?
No questions?
No questions. Sorry, I missed most of the show.
When did you come
Basically, all
in?
that happened was they upended the huge rock, drug it away from camp because they thought it might be responsible for the dreams, but the dreams still happened. And then, after coming back to the camp, eventually they figured that their employer was not around, and nobody had seen him since that previous evening. So they've basically been looking for him. They went back to the village. He wasn't there. They decided to come back by way of the riverbank, and they found him dead on the shore, like half in the water, half out. They did a little bit of investigating. Nelwick found some big beastie footprints that kind of went up out of the water and to the tent, but never went anywhere else, and there was no sign of struggle. They picked up the body and brought it into the tent for safekeeping. Then they basically gone and are having a big discussion on what to do next. And the two schools of thought are, one, to keep it on the lowdown initially and just kind of mull around camp and see if they can figure out if anybody's acting weird, if anybody may or may not have something to do with it, might know about it, whatever. The other option is we need to go and tell them what has happened, and both kind of opinions have got, both groups of opinion have been put up with pros and cons for both sides, so they're at a little bit of an impasse. So covering up the crime they didn't commit. Well, that's just it. They don't know it's necessarily a crime. It could have been something legitimately just nabbed him. They don't know. But if they want, the whole point being, if they want to keep it in case there was a crime, and they want to have an opportunity to kind of observe people, I think the issue that, or the point that Lena's bringing up is the second that they know that this person is dead and it is brought to light, it changes the status quo around camp, which isn't conducive necessarily to finding out what happened. Whereas on the other side, it is, but it's more important that we let them know what's going on than it is to figure out what happened. So, different thoughts, different processes. Perhaps something to do with those monster tracks?
Could be.
Maybe. May absolutely be.
Could be a red herring.
Could be. Like someone suggested, he may have put on his monster slippers and moonwalked into the lake. So there we go.
Maybe he's a werefrog.
Could be. He was in the middle of werefrogging and then he fell and bumped his head and reverted back.
Got in a fight with the pike.
A pretty big, nasty, grabby red herring, right?
I think we're in the clear with questions.
I think so. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate everybody for sticking around and seeing what's going on. We will be working on something Monday, but there will not actually be a show Monday unless we decide to stream what we're doing. It's all to do with basically we're trying to get everything done for the one of the 2 Daggerheart games we've got coming. We're actually going to do 2. We're going to do one with the Monday group and one with the Thursday group. So we're going to see how that goes. We may stream it Monday. The issue is there's a bunch of technical stuff that we've got to get set up for a couple of people, and that's not good stream content. Because we've got to show. Satch has already got it taken care of. Shaggett's already got it taken care of. Spook's got it taken care of. Nat's got it taken care of. But Jane, Crispy, and Matt, aka Snugs, we've got to get all that stuff set up with them, and that could easily take 35-40 minutes to an hour. So that's not going to be particularly entertaining. So we're not sure whether to do that or whether we turn on the stream after all that is done. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And keep an eye on Twitter and you'll get the answer. We could Discord it, but it's the same thing. It's not going to be particularly good content. Watching us...
character creation streams are a lot of...
the character creation part...
silent parts. So
yeah, the character creation part
know.
I'm not too fussed about. We could stream the logic and the thought process of that. It's setting up the... doing that darn crazy dice stuff that we've got to do, because... just so you guys know, it uses a very different dice mechanic that Roll20 is not capable of doing. Fact. However, we have found and discovered a way to make it work. But it requires add-ons and extensions and things to be set up that are a little bit fiddly. So it's a case of taking the time to walk people through how to do that. So, you know. But once it's done, it's worth it, for sure. And it brings a... once everybody's got it, it kind of adds a new element to our streams, too, because it means things get better. Like, for example, I can show you briefly. Let me turn it on. But you're familiar with what dice normally look like on Roll20. And now it won't work. Now look at that dice. That looks like a very, very real dice, right? Which is kind of cool. But one of the things that matters is you have to be able to roll dice of different colors, which you cannot do inside of Roll20, but utilizing something else, which is an add-on and uses an extension that plugs into Roll20, it will roll. And you can't see that because of the way the dice just rolled. Let me roll again. And again until we get two that land on the map, if they will. Let me get rid of that one. Try it again. See, I have a hard time getting these to... they don't land on the map because we only screen capture the map part. They're landing on the aspects of Roll20, and you're not able to see them. But you can see the dice rolls down in the thing, but that's an issue. I don't know. That's a thing I wish was a way to stop that, because I would really like them to roll. It keeps doing it. And there's no way to... I wonder if it matters where... it always rolls them in the same spot. Have you noticed that?
I've noticed that.
The white one always ends up on this side.
Mythical, you tend to roll maybe 3 or 4 dice at a time. I mean, there's some abilities that will have more, but...
yeah, most of the time you're... there you go. So that right there... I mean, it shows the results in the chat. So, like, in here you can see what the results were. But what it does is you roll with 2 different colored dice for a mechanical reason, which will become very apparent. And that matters. But, like, when we're rolling it, it rolled a 12, but it was a 6 on the white dice and a 6 on the purple dice. And the white dice is the hope dice, and the purple dice is the fear dice. And that has relevance. The sad part is, because of the way it rolls, let me do a thing. And let me see. Let me turn that one off. And turn the dice on. See, even the D20 ones do it. So I guess I've just never really noticed it. but they tend to be reliably. They don't roll as much. So they tend to... Oh, I wonder if there's a physics... There's a physics setting. Rolls. Let's see. Dice. Oh, with the physics you can only unlock with the Patreon setting. That sucks. Oh, that's the dice tray color. Okay. I see. Yeah, I don't know that there's a way. It just seems to be that the way they roll the dice. Let me roll this one and see if this one tends to be... Oh, I've got to turn that back off. Hold on. And now it's not rolling inside of roll 20. Try it now. Oh, because I turned it off, I probably gotta... Oh, I know. Hold on. I need to click on the... There we go. Back in the room. That might do it. No, probably have to exit and come back in to make it work. I probably killed the extension. Anyway, never mind. It's not a big deal. But the main thing is, as long as the players are able to see what dice were rolled and what colors they were, that's the bit that matters.
Yeah.
You guys will have, because they're going to state it with each roll. So. Alright, y'all. Well, thanks for hanging out. We've had a blast. Hope you did too. We will see you again next time. Y'all have a great weekend. And we may or may not see you Monday. We will see. But either way, it's worth it. Because we'll be doing cool stuff. So, much love, y'all. Take care. Bye.
Bye.